Welcome back to Marion, Illinois for the third and final game of a three-game weekend set between the 20-8 first place and Frontier League's best Evansville Otters taking on the 14-14 West Division rival Southern Illinois Miners. My name is Ryan Brown, joined on the broadcast today by usually public address announcer over at Bossy Field, Zane Clodfelter. But today, Zane, you get to make the nice trip over here to Marion and catch a little bit of Otters baseball in a rubber match.
Ryan, it was a lovely trip. It was sunny for most of the time, except when I got to Marion, there was a rainstorm. So luckily the clouds have cleared and we're ready for baseball.
Well, we're not in Evansville anymore. The Otters will be back on Tuesday, getting ready for a three-game series with the Florence Yawls, who have been hot on their heels in that West Division. But first, they've got to take care of this three-game weekend series with the Southern Illinois Miners, who currently sit in third place in the West Division behind both Florence and Evansville. Last night, it was a tough one for the Otters. They dropped a 3-2, really a pretty bare-knuckle battle between these two clubs. Bottom of the ninth inning was the deal breaker for Evansville as they lost on a walk-off ground rule double hit by Ian Walters, the third baseman for Southern Illinois. They're looking to get back at it in this Sunday evening game as they send righty Tim Holdgrafer, the rookie making his fourth start of the season, his fifth appearance, to the hill. He's got a 2-1 record with a .550 earned run average. He will be battling right-hander Trent Johnson for the Southern Illinois Miners, making his third start of the year. He is 0-2 with a .450 ERA. Once again, you are listening to the Evansville Otters pregame show, where we will give you a preview of tonight's action, followed by a recap of what went down last night. Lineups and first pitch all on the way here on the Evansville Otters pregame show on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Welcome back to the booth here at Rent One Park in Southern Illinois, Marion, Illinois to be exact, as the Evansville Otters prepare to take on the Southern Illinois Miners for the rubber match of a three-game weekend series between the Frontier League's best Evansville Otters and the 14-14 Southern Illinois Miners. Welcome back to the Evansville Otters pregame show. My name is Ryan Brown. Joined alongside me is Zane Clodfelter. As we roll on here on the Evansville Otters pregame show, we'll go ahead and give you a preview of what is to come in just under 8 minutes with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. The Otters, with that 20-8 record, sitting in first place in the Frontier League's West Division, are taking on the Miners in this Sunday night rubber match here at Rent One Park. They lost a nail-biter last night, did the Otters, as the Miners came away with a victory in walk-off fashion by a final score of 3-2. Elijah McNamee is the player to watch tonight. He carries the hot bat into the Sunday night action, as McNamee has hit 2 home runs in his last 3 games while driving in a grand total of 9. That's not too bad. The Otters, they're sending right-hander Tim Holdgrafer to the mound, and he looks to earn a win in now 3 consecutive starts going back to June 17th, should he be able to last long enough and exit with a lead, and the Otters able to hold it. His last time out, Holdgrafer pitched well, going 5 1/3, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, while striking out 5. Holdgrafer matches up against righty Trent Johnson, who sports an 0-2 record, .450 earned run average, who makes his third start of the season. How about a recap of what went down last night? Again, a nail-biter, 3-2 the final, a walk-off loss for the Otters, their third and of the season and second already on the 6-game road trip. The Otters would have to come from behind early to eventually tie the game after the Miners took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first on an RBI groundout from Gianfranco Wawu and a follow-up 2-out ribby from Nolan Early off of Otters starter Ryan O'Reilly. Both runs were unearned as the inning began with a fielding error at short. O'Reilly made his professional debut in the outing, pitching through the fourth without allowing an earned run, giving up just the early 2 on 4 hits, 2 walks, and 6 punch-outs. In the top of the fourth, Elijah McNamee would tie the game with a 2-run homer to left, his second big fly in the last 3 days. McNamee has driven home 9 runs again in those last 3 games, going back to the Otters' Thursday matchup with the Joliet Slammers. Samson Abernathy, Tyler Spring would both come on to pitch. Spring extended his scoreless appearance streak to 15 games and over 20 innings. However, the Otters would not be able to punch a run home in the top of the ninth when they began the inning with runners at first and second with nobody out. And the Miners managed to score off of Otters reliever Taylor Wright on a walk-off ground rule double, winning the ball game with a runner at second for the final score of 3-2. Now, about 5 minutes until first pitch, we will turn things over to Zane Clodfelter, going ahead and reading off our lineups as we get set for more Frontier League 2021 regular season baseball. Take it away, Zane.
Thanks, Ryan. For the Otters, they're 28 entering tonight. Miles Gordon leading off. He's playing in center field. Andrew Penner's the shortstop, batting second. J.R. Davis is at second base, batting third. Batting fourth in cleanup at first base, it's Riley Crane. Elijah McNamee in right field, batting fifth. Dakota Phillips batting sixth and catching. John Schultz, the veteran, the designated hitter tonight, batting seventh. Christopher Pujols is at third base, and Josh Henderson in left field batting ninth. And as you mentioned, Tim Holdgrafer on the mound for Evansville, the righty. For the Southern Illinois Miners, they're 14-14, 6 games back of Evansville entering tonight. Leading off at second base, it's Carson Bartles. Batting second at shortstop, it's Yeltsin Gudinho. Batting third at first base, it's Luke Mangieri. Gianfranco Wawu is the designated hitter, batting cleanup. Nolan Early in right field, batting fifth. Jared Mang is in left field, batting sixth. At third base, number 40, Ian Walters. In center field, it's Anthony Brocato. And catching, batting ninth, it's John Cable. On the mound, Trent Johnson for the Miners. Ryan?
Thank you, Zane. And there you have your lineups for this Sunday night rubber match between the Evansville Otters and Southern Illinois Miners. As the Miners take the field, we will step away and be back with first pitch right around 5:05. Once again, you've been listening to the Evansville Otters pregame show on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Looking to buy a new home? We've got a sweet deal for you. Get a Home Sweet Home mortgage loan from Heritage Federal Credit Union and get a great low rate, plus get $500 cash back. That's right. Get a great low rate on your mortgage loan and get $500 cash back. Apply at Heritage Federal Credit Union, where the mortgage loans are sweet and the service can't be beat. Get your $500 cash back today at your local HFCU branch or apply online at hfcu.info/mortgages.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Welcome to Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. The Evansville Otters, the Frontier League's best and West Division leading Evansville Otters, set to square off against the Southern Illinois Miners in the rubber match of this 3-game weekend series and the conclusion of a 6-game road trip. The Otters with a win today would finish that road trip with a winning record 4-2 after taking 2 of 3 from the Joliet Slammers on the outskirts of Chicago. My name is Ryan Brown. To my right, Zane Clodfelter. And Zane, what do you think, having spent a lot of time with this Otters organization, it would mean to open their first series against their West Division rivals, the Southern Illinois Miners, with a series win taking this rubber match?
It would cap an impressive road trip, Ryan, especially when you think Evansville should have probably swept in Joliet, after losing that game on Wednesday. And right now the Miners are 6 games back, but there's still a lot of baseball left to be played. And what I keep having to remind myself is that the regular season, 96 games, it's not going to end on Labor Day weekend like it always has. There's going to be a couple more weeks, so there's still a lot of time for teams like Gateway and Southern Illinois to make some ground in the division race.
Well, hoping to push the Southern Illinois Miners up over the 500 mark is Trent Johnson, the big 6'4", 265-pound right-hander who carries an 0-2 record with a 450 earned run average into tonight's play. He'll be squaring off against an Evansville Otters lineup that we will repeat for you following our Evansville Otters pregame show. And it looks like this: Miles Gordon, Andrew Penner, and J.R. Davis. Lefty, righty, righty, 1, 2, 3 for the Otters, followed by the cleanup man, Riley Crane. Elijah McNamee bats 5th, and Dakota Phillips in the 6th hole, lefty, righty, lefty. Then 7, 8, 9 will be the designated hitter, John Schultz, who will bat from the left side of the plate, followed by Christopher Pujols and Josh Henderson, rounding out the order in the 9th spot, and he also bats left-handed. Johnson has completed his warm-up throws, and we're just about ready for more Frontier League baseball from Marion, Illinois. Getting underway just a couple of minutes, if not moments late, on a beautiful Sunday late afternoon, early evening. Just a few white fluffy clouds dot the skies out beyond center field as Miles Gordon steps toward the plate. Trent Johnson on the hill, facing the Otters leadoff man. The wind and the first pitch showing bunt, but pulling back is Gordon. He takes a strike, 91 on the gun from Johnson, and we are underway from Marion.
For those needing a visual of Johnson, just imagine a defensive end at Iowa who's a junior or a senior.
The 0-1 underneath it, fouled back out of play is Gordon. Game time temperature 90 degrees. A toasty afternoon here in Southern Illinois.
Especially with the field turf.
5:06.
Especially with the field turf.
Great point to make. It's not doesn't keep as cool as that natural grass at Bosse Field, does it?
Right.
The 0-2 to Gordon. And this is hit out toward shallow left field, kind of out toward no man's land. Jared Mang over to make the grab. Defensive alignment for the Southern Illinois Miners. Jared Mang, left fielder, just made that catch. To his left, the center fielder, Anthony Bricado, and in right, Nolan Early. Around the horn, it's Ian Walters, Yeltsin Gudinho, Carson Bartels, and Luke Mangieri. Behind the dish, catching Trent Johnson, John Cable. Home plate umpire Andrew Oxford over at first, James Purnell, and at third, another familiar face, Chris Dykman. First pitch to Andrew Penner is in there for a strike. Getting ahead with a fastball is Johnson, 0-1 on Penner.
Opportunity early here for the Otters to get ahead. It would be nice to have a lead.
The 0-1 breaking ball catches the outside part of the plate. 0-2.
I know the Otters lost 3-2 last night, but it was a very taxing game because they were chasing the entire time. They could never take a lead.
The 0-2 to Penner. He's well behind a fastball on the swing. The punch out for Johnson. That heater seemed to get up on Penner pretty quickly, didn't it?
It did, and the Otters are obviously aggressive here early. A lot of swings. They aren't taking a lot of pitches, Ryan.
I guess it goes to show you see a big righty on the mound. Good chance he's going to be around the strike zone. Let that fastball play. It brings J.R. Davis to the plate. Davis, he's 3 for 7 in the series. He's hit a double and walked a couple times. First pitch, again, back with that four-seamer, 91, says the radar gun here at Rent One Park. In there for a strike, 0-1.
I hope that's not the radar gun judging me as I drive home to Evansville tonight.
Ground ball to the left side. To his left, the shortstop, Yeltsin Gudino, on to first. A 1-2-3 inning for Trent Johnson and the Southern Illinois Miners. Bottom one coming up, Evansville nothing, Southern Illinois coming to bat.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
You live by what's right. It's part of who you are and what drives you to always do more, to give more. At Old National, we get it. We're the bank built on integrity and community. The bank named the world's most ethical company for the last 10 years. The bank that focuses on your financial goals every day. Because your success is everything. And that's why we're here. You live by what's right. And at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations. Member FDIC.
Bottom of the first at Southern Illinois, Rent One Park here in Marion. Tim Holdgrafer takes the mound for the Otters in this one. 0-0 ball game after Evansville went down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first. Tim Holdgrafer, he'll be set to work against Carson Bartels, Yeltsin Gudino, and Luke Mangieri, 1-2-3. In the Miners order, followed by Gianfranco Wawu cleaning up. Should it get to that point? The wind in the first pitch from Holdgrafer. There's a fastball, possibly missing a touch upstairs and inside. 1-0 on Bartels.
Gianfranco Wawu is your favorite name in the Frontier League, right, Ryan?
So far.
So
without
far.
question. I expect a lot of fun to be had with that when the Miners come to Bosse Field. The 1-0. They took something off of that one. Catches the outside part of the plate. 1-1 on Bartels. Wawu pretty good. 1-1, fastball taken out toward right. Blocking the sun is McNamee. Underneath it, he makes the grab for a quick 3-pitch out to begin Holdgrafer's evening. In the outfield, it's Josh Henderson in left, Miles Gordon in center, and Elijah McNamee just made that play in right. At third, the hot corner, Christopher Pujols, and in the sixth hole, Andrew Penner. J.R. Davis and Riley Crane are on the right side, second and first. And catching, Mr. Holdgrafer, is Dakota Phillips, back in the lineup today after getting a night off last night. Yeltsin Gudino stands in. Right-handed hitting shortstop. First pitch to him. Slider misses outside, 1-0.
I'm sure Tim Holdgrafer is holding it as a challenge. Trent Johnson threw 8 pitches in the top of the first. He's trying to match that. That was a quick top half inning.
We could be in for an early pitcher's duel as the 1-0 in there for a strike at 91. The fastball catches the outside corner because Holdgrafer, his last 2 outings have been phenomenal. So if that trend continues, it'll be a tough afternoon at the plate for Southern Illinois. 1-1, grounded foul. What would you call it, evening or afternoon? Because It's pretty daggone bright out. It's after 5 o'clock, but
So my rule at Bossy Field, we have 5:05 starts on Sunday. If
Right.
I'm talking prior to 5, it's afternoon. After 5, it's evening. So I'll welcome fans and say good afternoon, but I'll say good night once the game is over.
1-2 breaking ball. Gudinho, he thought about it. He holds off, though, as it misses outside 2-2. So you'd call this evening.
Right now, yes, because it's after
that's
5.
my gut feeling.
Right.
It's after 5. So there you have it.
That's
First question solved. 1 for 1.
why we're here.
2-2. Fastball. Grounded foul. Gudinho was ready for it. He pulled it to the left side, and it bounced into the Otters dugout. John Schultz off the bench. He's DHing today. Looked like he was going to try to make a play on that one as it bounced in.
Ryan, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little surprised the nets aren't further down the lines here in Marion. Bossy Field, they obviously expanded theirs prior to this season.
The wind in the 2-2. And a little excuse me hack there to breaking ball. Come back to the mound. Holdgrafer fires on to first for a difficult out number 2, at least defensively. Nice play by Holdgrafer.
Yeah, Holdgrafer made it look really easy there. Just a common flick over the first base to get the out.
To your point about the netting, yeah, not quite as extended as you find at Bossy Field, but Joliet was also similarly.
Okay.
They left many of the grandstands behind third and first wide open, and there was actually a fan that looked like might have been hit and banged up a little bit there. First pitch to Luke Mangieri, called a strike outside part of the plate, 0-1.
I will say here in Marion, the dugouts are a little further down the lines as opposed to the location at Bossy Field, so perhaps that's a difference.
Now the wind in the 0-1 to Mangieri. They went with the change. It misses outside, 1-1 on Mangieri, who last night 1 for 4. He singled in the 8th inning. Also mixed in a couple of Ks against Otters rookie making his professional debut, Ryan O'Reilly. 1-1. Looks like they gave a spin at that slider. It misses inside, perhaps low on Mangieri. Now the count 2-1 on the Miners' number 3 batter. 2-1 to the plate. Breaking ball misses in.
Do you give the green light here on 3-1 with 2 outs?
I would. To my number 3 guy.
I would too.
Because something also to consider, and a great question you've asked there, Gianfranco Wawu, I believe he's batting under $150. Line drive left side, and that is out of play just above the Otters dugout. And what we were talking about, it looked like it almost caught a fan there.
It did, and then hit a number of empty seats. So glad those weren't occupied here on a Sunday night in Marion.
Wawu, 2 for his first 20, waits on deck. There are hot dogs more expensive than that batting average. The 3-2. That misses inside for ball 4.
But hey, you mentioned how he has struggled. Here's an opportunity now for him to get off the schneid and lift his team to an early lead. Because he has the power to do so, and this is a ballpark that is hitter-friendly.
Yeah, just 320 feet down the line and left. So Wawu, the cleanup batter, now stands at the plate following the 2-out walk. Last night, Wawu 0 for 4 with a couple of punch-outs. Overall in the series, 1 for 8 with a double. First pitch, fastball, fouled back, out of play, 0-1.
Organist sounds good here tonight.
Yeah, he's been on his game this weekend.
Just like ours.
Yes. We were treated to a rendition of the Monkees. What is that song?
You don't say.
The 0-1. Breaking ball misses low. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
Okay.
And it was really good. I've never heard that song on the organ before, but he was laying it down, so to speak.
Bossy Field, of course, used to have an organ back in the days of the triplets.
Wouldn't that be neat to get one back in there? 1-1 underneath it. Shallow left center. In fact, it will be the shortstop Penner who gloves it out in left center field, very shallow, for the final out of the first inning.
And Ryan, I'm all for you on the organ at Bossy Field. Bring it back.
There we go. We're going to start a campaign for it. Top two coming up. 0-0 our score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Top of the second inning coming up. Riley Crane stands in, the number 4 batter in the Otters order. He takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. They went off speed at 81. Riley Crane, Elijah McNamee, and Dakota Phillips. 4, 5, and 6 for the Otters facing Trent Johnson, who pitched a 1-2-3 top half of the first. The 0-1 misses upstairs. 90 with the fastball. Ryan Brown to my right. Zane Clodfelter on a sunny evening in southern Illinois. The wind and the 1-1. And this hit out towards shallow right. Crane, a big swing, just a tad underneath it. The second baseman, Carson Bartels, out, makes the grab. One down in the top of the second.
And with the time of day that it is, Ryan, really a tough sun field, especially for those outfielders. And we'll have to watch closely, to the shadow impact at home plate right now. The batter's box is on both sides, sun splash, but as the night progresses, the pitcher might have a little bit of an advantage pitching from the sunlight as opposed to the batter who's in the shadow.
The sun setting behind the stands off the third base side. Elijah McNamee stands in. First pitch fastball, swinging away.
His Bulldogs
up to 0-1.
No, his Bulldogs are playing for a national championship starting tomorrow night in Omaha.
Yes, they are. Against a Vanderbilt Commodores team that had an easy walk to that final, to say the least.
Your alma mater.
A little bit embarrassingly right now, to be honest with you. The 0-1 misses outside. I was thinking about talking about it last night if it came up, but I'm sure, to say the least, there are plenty Vanderbilt alumni who are embarrassed by the proceedings in Omaha and the conclusion to the NC State Wolfpack's season. The 1-1. Breaking ball, floats it in there inside part of the plate. 1-2 on McNamee. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it has to be frustrating for NC State, but in the same respect, vaccinations I'm sure would have helped in that cause as well. Double-edged sword.
The wind and the 1-2 to McNamee. Fastball misses up and away. Count now even to apiece. McNamee 4 for 8 in the series. He's hit a home run, a triple. He's driven in 6, and going back to Thursday, how about another 3 runs he drove in with a 3-run homer in Joliet? The 2-2 fastball misses outside and off the catcher John Cable's mitt. Through the left-handed batter's box. Count now full on McNamee.
The last homestand really good for Elijah McNamee. It seemed like he found a rhythm and got into a groove, and he's carried that over here on the road trip.
McNamee, the batting average, well over 300, 333. 30 through his first 90. The wind in the 3-2. And he swings and foul. Oh, now they're going to say that's a swing and a miss. The catch in the pitch in the dirt. The catcher, John Cable, tagging McNamee. 2 down in the top of the second.
Casasa still sponsoring the strikeouts over here in Marion, Illinois. That's been an institution. That's longer than the overhead foul ball at Bosse Field for those listeners who know that little bit of knowledge.
That's quite the bit of history there. That's a long time.
I'm here for the random facts.
No, it's good, especially when you consider the history between these two clubs, going back to 2007 when the Miners opened play. Dakota Phillips, he's at the dish now, batting from the left-handed batter's box. He takes an off-speed pitch. We'll call it a changeup that misses outside, 1-0. Plenty of hard-fought games between these two clubs over the years. The 1-0, they go back to that off-speed pitch. Again, it misses outside, 2-0. I believe 2 Frontier League teams, both with 2 championships to their credit. Does that sound about right for Southern Illinois, or do they have 3? The 2-0 misses in.
I'll be honest, I thought they only had 1.
Oh,
we're going to have to check the game notes. So I thought Evansville got over the hump with their title in 16. That put them at 2.
2006, 2016 for Evansville. Oh, you are right, sir. You are correct, sir. The 3-0, that fastball in there for 3-1. I would have been much more chatty about the championships had I known this. I thought it was tied.
No, it's not. And actually, when Southern Illinois won the title, their broadcaster was Michael Ventola, an awesome guy. And I loved when Southern Illinois would come to the ballpark.
The 3-1 to Phillips. Misses low and away. He's aboard with a 2-out walk.
And when Southern Illinois would come, Michael Ventola, after they won the previous year, he brought his ring to Bosse Field. And I remember seeing it and putting it on, and I was so impressed. So when the Otters won in 2016, I was expecting a ring, and thankfully, because of the Busting family, I got one. And the Otters ring in 16 was better than the Miners ring when they won. Just my personal belief, yes. Joel Padfield obviously has both rings, the 2006 and the 2016, because his longevity with the organization.
John Schultz at the dish. First pitch to him. Called strike right around the belt. 0-1. Schultz was 0 for 1 last night in a pinch hit appearance in the top of the ninth.
And see, this matchup is always interesting because the Frontier League playoffs and divisions, the formats have changed so much over the years.
The 0-1 to Schultz. Misses low and away. This year, no wild card teams, just the winners of each division. Well, the 4 division make it to the championship. Apparently, that was what we were told initially.
That is what we were told, but do you believe that there's a chance that could change here as the season goes on?
It would be hard to believe that you would change a rule like that mid-season.
I've seen a lot of things in the Frontier League, Ryan, so I wouldn't be surprised.
So you could see that happen?
I could see that happen.
The 1-1 misses low, 2-1. It would make, I'm sure, a lot of division winners fairly upset and some second-place teams very happy. Johnson set the 2-1. He misses outside with a fastball. 3 balls and 1 strike on the designated hitter, John Schultz.
And I know Bill McCune last Sunday liked the idea of the 4 division winners making the playoffs because he referenced how MLB worked prior to the wild card expansion where you had to win the division just to make the league championship series.
The 3-1 is in there. Full count now on Schultz with 2 out and a runner aboard. Sure, I mean, it also adds to the importance of division play when the Otters square off against the Miners. So if you are trying to build or sell rivalries, that's one good way to do it. The 3-2 is hit foul off to the left and out of play.
But then Bill McCune's brother, Jack, won a World Series with the Florida Marlins in 2003. They were a wild card team. They did not win the East that year.
So that has to be somewhat mixed feelings for him, don't you think?
Right.
We'll have to ask him Tuesday when we're back at Bosse.
Please. Dying to know the answer.
The Otters return Tuesday night to Bosse Field. Another full count pitch with a runner aboard and 2 out. 3-2 home, misses low. Back-to-back 2-out walks put runners at first and second as Christopher Pujols strides toward the turf circle around home.
And our listeners don't need me here in Marion to tell them that John Schultz is a veteran, but that was a veteran at bat. Working the pitch count there and getting on to put a runner in scoring position here for a very capable batter in Christopher Pujols.
And a veteran take on a 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, that was a tough take. But John knows best.
You got to have the ice in the veins. First pitch to Pujols in the turf, the fastball. And John Cable will go out to have a conversation with his battery mate, Trent Johnson.
What do you think he's saying? Throw a strike?
Probably.
A lot harder than that, though.
Yeah, that would be my guess. And we are going to have an official mound visit as Eric Minshaw is on out of the Miners dugout, pitching coach. And he looks a little animated out there as he gives a slap of encouragement to Trent Johnson.
That's a good way of putting it. He was walking to that mound to say something very important based on the pace of how he was walking both from the dugout and back. He had a message from the general, Mike Pinto, as Bill McCune calls him, the manager for Southern Illinois.
Christopher Pujols with a 1-0 count. The 1-0 fastball, good on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Mike Pinto in his 14th season.
Only manager they've had.
Since 2007.
Mm-hmm. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
1-1. Misses just off the plate. Cable tried to buy a strike with the frame job. He does not.
So then my question is, when Mike Pinto retires, that's going to be a tough replacement gig for whoever follows him.
2-1, misses out. They go back to the fastball, and a curious note, Zane, it doesn't look like Johnson has good command of the fastball at this point.
He doesn't. He had great command in the first inning, but since then, I don't know if it's the heat or something else where he's kind of lost it, and the Otters are trying to take advantage with now patient at-bats after a quick first.
Also possibly a chance for revenge, as it was Pujols who grounded into the double play in the top of the ninth last night. The 3-1 misses outside. Again, 92 on the fastball. It missed well away, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs following back-to-back-to-back walks.
What an opportunity here for Josh Henderson. Bases are loaded, a critical RBI situation here early. If a starter is struggling, you need to get on him early before he settles back down. This is the opportunity Evansville needs after last night.
Henderson, for intents and purposes, the 4th outfielder on the club. He gets the start today here in Southern Illinois, which was the last club he played for in 2019. First pitch fastball. He's behind it. Swings and misses, 0-1.
If you're Johnson, you don't want the count to run full because that means all the runners are going, and that means something down the lines will score all 3.
The 0-1, fouling this back, is Henderson. So Johnson accomplishing just that. He's well ahead of Henderson, 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 out, the 0-2 to Henderson. Staying alive, he fouls this back over the roof here at Rent One Park. They'll do the 0-2 pitch once more.
And it would be great for Evansville's sake if you're able to reach, if you're Josh Henderson, and get Miles Gordon to the plate, the leadoff batter, and turn this lineup over.
Henderson trying to battle Johnson, who has walked the bases loaded with 2 out. He's ahead of Henderson, 0-2. Pitch on its way, off the hands. It's going to be a shallow little one-hopper to the shortstop, charging in, and he has no play at first. 1 run will come in to score. Schultz was caught leaning off of third. He tried to make it to the plate, but on a little infield single, I'm sure they'll call it. The Otters take a 1-0 lead from Josh Henderson in the top of the second as it concludes.
Yeah, and a pretty impressive play by Gudinho to throw home and not try to still get the out at first, knowing that there was no chance of that happening.
We will head to the bottom of the second. Otters take a 1-0 lead as Phillips scores from third on the Josh Henderson infield single. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Bottom two, Otters take a 1-0 lead in the top half of this inning thanks to some good two-strike hitting from Josh Henderson. Nolan Early, left-handed batter, stands in, takes a strike on the outside part of the plate on the fastball from Tim Holdgrafer, who worked a scoreless bottom of the first, working around a two-out walk. Trent Johnson not able to say the same. The top half of the second, ground ball to the right side, one hopper to Crane. No problem as he takes it to the bag himself. Two pitches, one down in the bottom of the second. It was Trent Johnson who walked the bases loaded with two out.
Right, and then allowed for the run to score when the shortstop made a great effort to Yeltsin Gudinho. And a heads-up play, as I said, going to the break, throwing home, knowing that John Schultz, a little bit slower on the base paths, was trying to score, and they were able to nab him at home to keep it a one-run game.
You said it. It was a great heads-up play by Gudinho, and it got the Miners out of an inning that could have been much, much worse. The first pitch to Jared Mang off speed in there for a strike, especially when you consider they had just turned the lineup over.
Right.
Some good heads-up baseball from the Miners defense. 0-1 to Mang. That misses low and outside. Mang, University of New Mexico product, where he got to know and work out with one of the Evansville Otters, currently inactive ball players, as he is on the injured list, Michael Gangwish, who is the Albuquerque native. The 1-1 misses in, 2-1.
Albuquerque, home of one of my favorite college basketball venues, the Pit.
I do not know if I know this, not being a huge college basketball fan. The 2-1 to Mang, and that is skied out of play to the right. Riley Crane has a look out of play. What, Zane, pray tell, is the Pit?
Our listeners who are from Evansville will know about Roberts Stadium. The Pit is still active, and the New Mexico Lobos play there. Has about 12,000 seating capacity, and it's kind of built the same way Roberts was prior to the demolition in the early 2010s in Evansville. Hosted NCAA tournament games as well.
Huh. The 2-2, another foul ball. Back a little bit to the right.
Indiana fans will remember the Pit because in 1992, Bobby Knight's last Final Four with the Hoosiers, they beat UCLA 106-79 in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four in Minneapolis.
At the Pit.
At the Pit in Albuquerque.
The 2-2 to Mang. Swing and a miss for strike three. They went off speed, and they get the Miners left fielder for the second out in the bottom of the second. First K for Tim Holdgrafer.
But he's worked ahead in the counts, which has been the most impressive thing. If you have the batter off balance in the batter's box, then you can get more creative and have a better chance of retiring them.
Opens up that entire arsenal, they say. It brings up Ian Walters, left-handed hitting third baseman. 2 down in the bottom of the second. And there you go, Zane. With the off-speed pitch, they get ahead 0-1.
That's crucial, and that's key. And now there's going to be a little bit of doubt from the batter here for Southern Illinois, being behind in the count.
The wind and the 0-1. That misses outside. They try to go back to that off-speed pitch. They can't find the strike zone. 1-1 on Walters, who won the game for the Miners last night with a walk-off ground rule double in the bottom of the ninth. 1-1, fouls it off to the left and out of play.
So I wonder who paid for his meal last night. If you have the walk-off win, someone has to pay for the meal, right?
Yes.
And where did they go?
That's well, you had a couple of Southern Illinois spots that you were thinking of recommending.
17th Street Barbecue right down the block from the ballpark here.
Ground ball to the right side. Davis at second. He throws on to first for a 1-2-3 bottom of the second for Tim Holgrafer and the Evansville Otters. They lead 1-0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
You live by what's right. It's part of who you are and what drives you to always do more, to give more. At Old National, we get it. We're the bank built on integrity and community. The bank named a world's most ethical company for the last 10 years. The bank that focuses on your financial goals every day. Because your success is everything. And that's why we're here. You live by what's right. And at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations. Member FDIC.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Top of the third inning, 1-2-3 batters for the Otters, or, Zane, as you would say at Bosse Field.
Top of the order to you, Ryan.
Oh, top of the order to you. Miles Gordon stands in. He flew out to left. His first time, or I should say, top of the order right back to you. The first pitch to Miles Gordon. Fastball from Trent Johnson. Otters lead 1-0 in the top of the third.
You say it better than I do. Don't Wally Pitt me now.
No, that's not true. I'm going into the Irish Brogue with no fear of backlash.
And I can't do that.
Bingo. 0-1 in there for a strike. 0-2. I don't know. Do you got a little green in you?
I don't. Swiss and German.
I wish I could give you the Celtic blessing, but I don't know how the rest of the clan from the Isle would feel about it. The 0-2 misses out. 1-2. With the fastball. I think you get away with it.
I'll try it next time at Bosse Field.
Please do.
An incentive to come out to the game on Tuesday night against the Yawls at 6:35.
Hear the good Zane Clodfelter Irish Brogue. The 1-2 to Gordon. That's a called third strike. Gordon had bent out of the way of the inside fastball, but he is rung up by Andrew Oxford. 1 down in the top of the third. It brings up Andrew Penner. He struck out his first time. Penner, though, coming into play, he has been an impressive Otter to watch since being acquired from the Washington Wild Things. He's behind a first pitch fastball 0-1. That was back on June 13th that the Otters traded for the utility man Penner.
and a good trade so far for Evansville's sake. And right now it's been feast or famine for Trent Johnson. Has 3 strikeouts but 3 walks. And the walks got him in trouble there in the second inning.
3 back-to-back-to-back 2-out walks led to a run as Johnson will step off.
If you're a pitcher, you want to make them earn the base by at least giving up a hit. You don't want to give a free pass and a walk.
The wind in the 0-2. Penner staying alive, fouls it back and out of play. To that point, interesting to note that Johnson had elicited a mound visit from his catcher John Capel and pitching coach Eric Minshaw. That, from the looks of it, apparently didn't end up working out.
Right, and awfully early in the game, too.
0-2, breaking pitch gets the best of Penner. Back-to-back punch-outs for Johnson.
And you see Andy McCauley trusting Penner despite the strikeout there. When he came to the Otters via that trade you just referenced, was batting 7th, 8th, and 9th in that lineup. Now he's batting 2nd, so he's elevated himself up to the upper half of the lineup.
He came in 10 for his first 30 in Evansville. As J.R. Davis stands in, he grounded out to short his last time. Skipper Andy McCauley called Penner a gritty, gutty ball player. He said that Penner, well, he's just beaten me too many times. I knew I had to have him.
Kind of like Riley Crane as well.
Yeah, a little bit. You see the Frontier League opponents, and a credit to this organization that they are well respected enough. The 1-0 fastball called a strike on the outside part of the plate, that they can work with other managers to get those players to bring them into Evansville, and that these ball players are happy to come here when they arrive. The 1-1 fouls it back out of play.
And the good thing about Andy McCauley is he has all the connects. So he has a deeper talent pool and a deeper base in which to sign players from. And I think a lot of the other managers realize that. So even if the Otters are giving somebody away, that's still a high-quality player in exchange in that trade.
With 2 out, the 1-2 to Davis, misses high. And to further that point, it is a testament to this organization and to many around the Frontier League that they are often, as badly as you want to win, they are still very player-centric for what's best for them, for the player, from the player's perspective. The 2-2 to Davis, and a little bloop out toward right center that will fall for a base hit. Davis aboard, and he's going to try to hustle his way into second. The throw is not in time to get Davis, who slides over the bag, keeps a couple of hands on the second base bag, and he's in at second with a 2-out double.
Okay, Ryan, now if Davis is the final out of the inning at second base, trying to stretch a single into a double, not a good play, but he's safe at second. So a great play, because now you have a runner in scoring position for Riley Crane, who arguably has been one of the Otters' best run producers so far this season.
And one of the best in the entire Frontier League. He comes in second. The RBI totals 29, one behind Quincy Niporti of the Schaumburg Boomers.
And both Niporti and Crane have been Frontier League Player of the Weeks.
Davis off second, the first pitch to Crane. They go with the slider, and perhaps a flinch from Andrew Oxford, but it misses out 1-0. Crane popped out to second his first time up. Now 3 for 9 in the series with a double and a couple of ribbies. 1-0 fastball, that misses low. Crane now ahead in the count, 2-0. Zane, do you think they are pitching Crane a little carefully with 2 out and a base open, though Elijah McNamee waits on deck?
Yeah, pick your poison. Do you want Crane to beat you or McNamee to beat you? That's the question.
I don't know. That is a dangerous question. 2-0. It is hit off to the left. The third baseman, Walters, in foul ground, reaches up and makes the catch right next to the wall behind the left field line. So J.R. Davis, Trent Johnson able to strand him at second following a 2-out double, but the Otters still lead 1-0. Bottom of the third coming up. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Anthony Brocato leads off the bottom of the third against Tim Holdgrafer, who pitched a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. He and the Evansville Otters lead the Southern Illinois Miners 1-0 at Rent 1 Park in Marion. The first pitch to Brocato is behind a fastball, 0-1. Brocato, the right-handed hitting center fielder, last night 0 for 3, also grounded into a double play. Ryan Brown alongside Zane Clodfelter. The 0-1 is roped to left, but foul.
And a big year for Brocato because he had an injury-plagued 2019. He batted .400, had 10 RBIs and 2 home runs. But that's a pretty short sample size, so now Mike Pinto getting to see more of him in the lineup.
The 0-2. And an off-speed pitch. They'll appeal down to first. No swing, says James Purnell. A nice breaking ball from Holdgrafer. They almost got Brocato to offer. It missed outside, but Brocato able to hold up just in time. The 1-2. Fastball inside of the plate. Inside and off of it. Brocato evens the count 2-2. Another 2-strike pitch, and a swing and a miss at the breaking ball. Second punch out for Tim Holdgrafer begins the bottom of the third. One down. John Cable will stroll to the plate. Facing off against Tim Holdgrafer, who comes in on some kind of a roll. June 17th, against the Gateway Grizzlies, Holdgrafer went 6 innings, picked up 10 strikeouts. First pitch, a called strike on the breaking ball on Cable. Then his last outing against Joliet, also pretty good. He pitched into the 6th, allowing just 2 runs. On 6 hits, he struck out 5, walked just 1 batter. The 0-1 is fouled back. He has walked Luke Mangieri already tonight, but Zane, an impressive number entering tonight's game through his first 4 appearances. How about 22 strikeouts to just 2 walks?
No, and that's a tremendous ratio, and Max Peterson has to love that.
Now ahead again on Cable, the 0-2. Misses just off the plate with the fastball, 1-2.
And pitching coaches are going to realize pitchers are going to give up runs, but you, again, want them to earn those runs. And by making them earn it with a base hit, it's a lot better than just giving up free passes and walks.
Your chances to make a play a little bit better than a walk. The 1-2. They go with the breaking ball that misses off the plate.
Because as we've seen, the Otters infield, tremendous defensively. It took them a while. We saw the exhibition games a little rough, but man, they've found a rhythm.
The 2-2 is roped out toward right, but out of play. John Cable, he got the night off last night, but was sure to catch Michael Austin in the blowout Friday night. He went 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. The wind and the 2-2. And a swing and a miss at the changeup. Back-to-back punch-outs for Tim Holdgrafer in the bottom of the third, excuse me.
And you can tell he's in a rhythm here. His infielder had the baseball and he wanted it back. He wants to get to work. He's keeping a great pace to the game. He's not really messing around, and sometimes you see pitchers distracted on the mound, throwing over to first, worrying about runners. He hasn't had that many runners on base to really worry about, so he can focus on his catcher.
Just the one, Luke Mangieri in the first. Carson Bartels facing Tim Holdgrafer. He takes a strike, 0-1. And you've already brought it up, Zane, but Holdgrafer able to get ahead in the count with seemingly any pitch his first time through the order. And there it is, that nice curveball from Holdgrafer. He twirls into the strike zone ahead of Bartels, 0-2.
Death, taxes, and Holdgrafer having an 0-2 count this
the
inning.
only things you can count on.
Right.
With 2 out, the 0-2 to Bartels. And he rips it to third. It's deflected by Pujols by the time Penner gets it. And the edge of the outfield turf, there will be no play on Bartels.
Has to be a base hit, though, right?
Oh, without question.
Hit on a rope. And just a good job there by Christopher Pujols at third base for the Otters to get a glove on it. I think we're trying to ask too much of Pujols to not only handle that scorcher to the hot corner, but then throw over for the out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was an incredible play just to dive and knock it down.
Because if not, if he doesn't do that, then that runner might be in scoring position at second.
It would not have been the easiest play in the world for Josh Henderson in left. Hit close enough to the line. And on a rocket shot, so who knows if it gets by Henderson. Probably the hardest hit ball of the day for either side. Yeltsin Gudino stands to the plate. First pitch, couple hops to J.R. Davis. Tosses underhand to Penner at second. One pitch, 1 out on Yeltsin Gudino for the final out in the bottom of the third. Top 4, Otters lead 1-0. When we return, some little play-by-play action from Mr. Zane Clodfelter. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
With Ryan Brown, St. Claude Felter here in Marion, Illinois, Rent One Park on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV. And leading off the fourth inning will be Elijah McNamee for the Evansville Otters. Looking for his first hit on the game, batting .330 coming into tonight. And the first pitch upstairs for a ball.
McNamee, definitely one of the hotter hitters in this lineup.
And a tremendous find by Bobby Siegel in 2019 to sign him as a free agent. The 1-0 pitch. A check swing and an appeal to first, and James Purnell said he did not go. So 2-0.
Hard to believe that there wasn't more interest in McNamee out of Mississippi State.
I'm stunned he didn't get drafted.
Right, and you've got to think that interest is coming shortly.
Right. For a lot of the Otters players in the lineup.
Yeah.
Especially after the draft. We shall see what happens there in terms of the roster makeup. The next pitch is fouled back. Now 2-1. And I think that needs to be asked by Andy McCauley just because the draft system is different this year. There are lesser rounds, and Jeff Gardner, even last year in our virtual game broadcast, one of our former outfielders said on record to us on Otters TV, he expects a deeper talent pool after the draft. Here's the 2-1, and it's 3-1.
Plus that draft being held later.
Right.
Early July instead of the first Thursday. I think it is usually in June. June 6th or June 5th usually.
The next pitch to McNamee, and this is a shot into left center field, and McNamee's on his horse, and that's going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. So Elijah McNamee with a leadoff double here in the fourth inning, and the Otters have a run in scoring position.
Elijah McNamee, I mean, this bat is unbelievable right now. He had been hitting for a fine average at the beginning of the season, getting on base a ton. He's one of the top 5 on-base percentage guys in the league, but he is adding a power stroke to his game right now that he's going to get a lot of interest if he keeps swinging like this, no question.
I think so as well. And now you have a guy in Dakota Phillips, and they've been a really good tandem together, especially the last homestand of being able to switch places on the base paths. So the first pitch from Johnson is a swing and a miss to Phillips. And Phillips with 22 RBIs, Ryan. 4 home runs, and this is a ballpark where Dakota is well capable of sending it out of the yard.
Phillips, those 4 home runs, by the way, that tied his total in 2019 with the Otters, and here we are. We're not even a third through the season yet.
He did a lot of prep and various things in 2020 we talked with him on Otters TV about as Johnson looked like he wanted to start his windup towards home, but then retreats and looks back at McNamee at second base, causing quite a disturbance.
McNamee, you know, he's got good speed, too.
The next pitch from Johnson is a swing and a miss, and now the count runs to 0-2. So Johnson trying to work ahead in this count, and this is a big batter here. There's a ground ball, something that could advance McNamee over to third. That's another RBI possibility with under 2 outs on a sacrifice.
And that's one of the problems when you're ahead 0-2, can limit the pitch selection.
Here's the pitch, and it's a high fly ball down the third base line. The third baseman is chasing, and the kids will have a souvenir down in the lawn area.
I don't think there's any coincidence that that 0-2 pitch was a fastball, because what you're talking about, you go to the off-speed pitch, a breaking ball, a changeup, you can almost give Phillips an out just by allowing him to roll over on something, turn it into a productive at-bat when you're ahead in the count 0-2.
Good job there by Phillips to keep this at-bat alive as McNamee is at second. There's nobody out. Otters on top in the fourth. 1-0. The pitch from Johnson is upstairs, and Dakota watches it go by. Now 1-2. So the Otters 1-3-0. The Miners 0-1-0. Johnson has the sign he wants. Now the pitch, and a swing and a miss and a strikeout there. That's a Casasa strikeout, as we hear over the PA system here at Rent One Ballpark.
Phillips, he had seen 4 fastballs And they had him well set up for that off-speed pitch. Swings ahead of it. Not too much you can do, and you've been geared up for the fastball from Johnson, which comes in pretty hard.
Especially as a power hitter like Dakota Phillips is. So here's John Schultz, the veteran. Already has his number 4 retired by the Otters organization, but he is back in 2021. And here's a high chopper on the infield. Johnson with a fielding job, but then there's nobody covering first base.
Poor communication right side of the infield. Hard to call it any other way. The first baseman looking to make that play probably should have known Mangieri that he should have gone back to the bag, because even if he is able to field that really high chopper on the turf surface, there's no way he's getting back to the bag to beat a guy out of the left-handed batter's box.
Right, and the ball bounced off the field turf, or the AstroTurf, whatever this is here, so high that Johnson had plenty of time to camp under it for a can of corn on the infield. So they'll bring in Christopher Pujols with runners at the corners, and 1 out, and that first pitch is a ball, 1-0. So a sacrifice fly opportunity, a wild pitch, a pass ball, even a balk. And the Otters can add to their 1-0 lead here in the 4th with 1 out. The next pitch is a swing and a miss, and the count even Steven at 1-1.
Using the free one you got. The fastball outer part of the plate. Pujols, no doubt, thinking about the downs on that one. Now if they set you up outside again, might want to think of taking it to right field.
And Johnson with a poor throw over to first, checking on the runner. Schultz.
The speed threat.
Yeah, the speed threat. It bounced, that throw from Johnson to his first baseman. Mangieri covering at first. And now he looks back again. I don't understand the fascination with people thinking John Schultz is going to steal. Here's the next pitch, and it's a swing and a miss now, 1-2 on Pujols. I mean, he had wheels in 2015 and 16, and I'm not saying John Schultz is slow now, but he wasn't stealing a lot back then.
Oh, he's still got him. I think he's faster than he was back then, is my theory.
The 1-2 pitch to Christopher Pujols. Runners at the corners with 1 out. On its way, and it's outside, and it gets away from the catcher. And John Schultz is running, and he's going to have second base as the ball got away from Cable behind the plate, and now you have 2 runners in scoring position, Ryan, for Mr. Pujols.
That's a really nice job from Schultz, because I bet you he did the math in his head before that wild pitch, realizing that if I get the opportunity, there's a good chance they don't throw down to second with McNamee off third.
McNamee at third, Schultz at second, and a foul ball by Pujols keeps the count at 2-2. On deck, it's Henderson, who previously batted with the bases loaded. So it's been the bottom half of the lineup that has given Trent Johnson a lot of issues with a lot of base runners here early. The 2-2 pitch from Johnson to Pujols on its way, and it's a base hit up the middle. 1 run is going to score, and McCauley is sending John Schultz. The throw from center is way offline. 2 runs are going to score, and there's a double for Christopher Pujols.
Told you John Schultz still had those wheels. He was racing around third. Andy McCauley knew to send him. And the throw offline to the left of the catcher, John Cable. The Otters now lead 3-0 in the top of the 4th.
No hesitation from Andy McCauley on sitting John Schultz either. And again, you have to force the defense to make a play. You have to force the center fielder, if you're Evansville, who is Anthony Percato tonight, to make that play, and he could not in the heat of the moment. So here is Josh Henderson, who bats with another runner in scoring position here at second, and Pujols, who just doubled. It's a 3-0 lead here. 1 out. The pitch from Johnson, and a high fly ball down the right field line, and this is foul into the seats, maybe the parking lot. I know the Otters are happy with the organist playing If You're Happy and You Know It. 2 runs here in the 4th after scoring a solo tally in the 2nd. It's 3-0.
Got to be a great feeling for Christopher Pujols, too.
Pitch there to Henderson is fouled back.
He grounded into that double play that ended the rally in the top of the 9th, and the Otters thought they had a really strong case to make that Pujols had beat the bag You go back, you watch the replay on Frontier League Live TV. He did, by a good step, beat the throw there. So they, I'm sure, felt that they had an opportunity last night taken out of their hands. Christopher Pujols coming up with a 2-run single right here.
The 0-2 pitch from Johnson to Henderson on its way, and a swing and a miss. And hey, maybe that could be a play that you can throw on the file as to the Frontier League. Hey, everybody else has instant replay. Why not institute it in this league? But I think a lot would have to happen infrastructure-wise for that to work out here in the future. Back to the top of the order for the Otters and Miles Gordon. With Pujols still at second base in scoring position here in the top of the fourth. The pitch from Johnson is in there, a called strike, 0-1.
Gordon, it's got to be an appetizing at bat right now. You don't get a ton of chances to bat with runners in scoring position when you're the leadoff man.
252 batter, has 7 RBIs on the year, looking for number 8 as that pitch is outside and low for a ball. The count evens at 1-1. Gordon, who we talked to on Otters TV this week, a former farmhand in the Cincinnati Reds organization, says he's loving his time so far in Evansville and contributing to the team's early success. The 1-1 pitch is inside. Now 2-1 as there's an appeal to Dykman, the third base umpire, between third and second, and he says no swing, 2-1.
I will add to your point about Gordon driving in 7, an impressive number because he's hitting over 500 in just 13 at-bats. 13 of his 111 he's had run-scoring opportunities with guys in scoring position.
Johnson has the sign he wants, and now the pitch. It's low and inside, 3-1.
So when he's had the opportunity, he's been pretty good.
And a big opportunity here on a 3-1 pitch. I'm sure the green light. I'd give the green light to the leadoff guy. Runner in scoring position. That's Pujols. There's 2 outs. Top of the fourth. It's a 3-0 Otters lead. The pitch from Johnson on its way, and it's fouled. We'll do it again. 3-2.
Gordon, interesting to note, ahead of the 90-mile-per-hour fastball there. So
he was looking for it.
Right.
See if he can time it up here on a 3-2, 2-out pitch. Pujols at second in scoring position. The Otters already on top, 3-0. The pitch from Johnson on its way, and another foul. We'll do it again.
Again, ahead of that 90-mile-per-hour heater.
And the catcher, Cable, wants to say just a couple of things. Hey, we might want to try another thing other than a fastball because it's only a matter of time before Miles Gordon connects here. Right now, the deficit for Southern Illinois is still manageable. It's only 3 runs, Ryan.
The Otters saw in Joliet how a team in this league, they're not out of it till, well, as Mr. Bill McCune would say, the fat lady sings.
Amen. Here's the next pitch, and this is a high fly ball. The center fielder is on his horse. And he reaches up and makes a catch. A nice running play there by Brocato, but the Otters do damage. 2 runs in the top of the fourth. Evansville, as we go to the home half, on top 3-0 on the Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV and YouTube Live.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
Bottom of the fourth here at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. Luke Mangieri leading off for Southern Illinois, trailing the Otters 3-0. And the first pitch from Tin Holdgrafer is outside for a ball. Ryan Brown alongside, and the Otters trying to finish this road trip on a winning note and a winning record. Coming in 3-2 on the 6-game trip so far. The next pitch from Holdgrafer is called for a strike, 1-1.
When you've won 20 of your first 28, and that's nearly 3 out of 4, you can't call anything, this is far from a must-win game.
Absolutely.
I mean, near the farthest thing from it.
The pitch from Holdgrafer is outside now, 2-1.
However, it would be such a nice statement win, almost to just announce your authority one more time and say, we are the team to beat in this league.
Especially for a team in Southern Illinois also in that division, the West Division of the Frontier League. The 2-1 pitch from Holdgrafer on its way, and this is going to be a base hit for Luke Mangieri. So the leadoff batter on for the Miners here in the bottom of the fourth, Ryan.
The 2-1, they go with an off-speed pitch. I don't know if Holdgrafer went with that slider or a changeup, but 2-1, the book says fastball. Of course, it's a flip of the coin as to whether or not the number 3 man and the left-handed batter, Mangieri, is going to be looking for that or the off-speed. So, got to tip your cap to a nice piece of hitting to lead off their half of the inning.
In steps in Gianfranco Wawu. His second year with the Miners. As Ryan already mentioned, he was an all-star in 2019. And the first pitch from Holdgrafer is outside of the zone. 1-0 the count.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that. We have a pretty good vantage point, but I'm not here to second guess Andrew Oxford behind home. He has a much better view than Ryan and I.
I'll second guess.
Okay.
I'll second guess so you don't have to. You go ahead and tap my shoulder when you think we got a second guess. I'll start.
The next pitch, it's fouled off there by Wawu, and the count evens at 1-1. I don't umpire baseball, but I do Indiana high school basketball, and I tend to be a little more sympathetic to those who wear blue or the stripes, because it is a tough job.
Oh, totally different. Refereeing basketball and umpiring baseball. You need have no love save between these umpires.
I'll remember that in the future here as Holdgrafer has the sign he wants, now delivers, and this is a chopper to the shortstop. There's going to be an out at second and an out at first, 6-4-3. A tremendous double play there started by Andrew Penner throwing to Davis and then on to Crane for the 2 outs.
How about the slick bare hand from J.R. Davis? Grabbing it out of midair on the underhand toss from Penner, firing to first. Dang.
I was talking about the defense of the Otters infield. We saw it firsthand.
They must have heard you.
I'm glad they're listening to the Otters Digital Network on a Sunday in Marion. And here's the pitch to early from Holdgrafer, and it's inside for a ball. Now that one did miss.
Yeah, I'll have to say, just a bit inside.
But then again, you have early really crowding the plate here for Southern Illinois. And back in the batter's box, the 1-0 pitch. Same spot, same result, 2-0.
His left foot is right on the back line of the batter's box, to your point.
Pushing the boundary a little bit.
Yeah. Towing the line, so to speak.
Amen. Here's the pitch from Holdgrafer to Phillips, and that's in there, a called strike.
I don't know if you'd call that a curveball. Comes in at 75.
Off-speed pitch for sure.
Yeah. Looked like it had more lateral movement. That backdoor, I'll call it a slider.
The 2-1, now 2-2, and you called a slider, I'll call it a slider.
There we go. We're on the same page. It's kind of how Pravda works too, but no harm, no foul.
Deuces are wild. 2 out and a 2-2 count, and Holdgrafer steps off. And he'll recollect himself, get the sign from Phillips that he wants. He has it. Here's the 2-2 2-out pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. As Nolan Early strikes out, We're through 4. Evansville on top and Marion 3-0 on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV.
CenterPoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Back here in Marion, Ryan Brown. I'm Zane Clodfelter on the Otters Digital Network. Andrew Pinner leading things off here in the 5th inning. Evansville on top 3-0. And looking for more here against the starter, Trent Johnson, who comes out for yet another inning. And he's tying his shoe.
Don't want to get caught up on a lace.
No, you don't.
Now with Frontier League TV, they'd catch that on camera. Kind of embarrassing.
It would be. The first pitch is on the outside corner. Johnson working ahead of Pinner, 0-1.
I had heard that back before the cameras came on to most ball fields, ball players would be falling all over the place.
Next pitch is fouled back, now 0-2.
That they didn't care about those shoelaces before, but ever since the cameras came in, fans denied the opportunity to see ball players falling flat on their face.
That's what Marv Albert exists for his blooper reels. Unless that was just confined to the NBA. I think he did it for everybody. The next pitch, the 0-2, and it's a swing and a miss. And Andrew Pinner down on 3 pitches with that strikeout here to start the 5th. So feast or famine here for Johnson, as we've mentioned. Didn't allow a run in the first, but gave up 1 in the second. Then no runs in the third, but then 2 in the fourth. So with J.R. Davis stepping in, we would think this would be one of Johnson's good innings based on track record so far here this evening. And the pitch is fouled back, 0-1 to J.R. Davis.
We'll have to see if Mr. Davis can change that.
And he's a guy fully capable, has really emerged as a power threat for the Evansville Otters in this offense and one of the key cogs that Andy McCauley needs to see consistent success. 25 RBIs on the year so far with 4 home runs. The next pitch is inside. And you've already mentioned his batting average over 350. There's a lot of guys in the Otters lineup that has a batting average over 300. We're talking Pinner, Davis, McNamee, Phillips, Schultz, and that is a high fly ball to the right fielder for Southern Illinois. He's on the chase and in fair territory. A nice running grab there by Nolan Early to retire Davis for the second out of the frame.
Davis picked up a hustle double early. Not able to come through there, but he's been looking pretty good in that 3 spot.
And now with nobody on and 2 outs, it's Riley Crane's chance here. In the top of the 5th, Evansville on top 3-0 with 2 outs. Looking to get something started here with 2 outs, and the first pitch is upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Should Crane reach, you have McNamee there on deck.
Something that might tell you that Johnson has some good rise to his fastball. You've got a good hitter like Riley Crane who's popped out twice.
That's a really good observation, Ryan, as that pitch is taken for a strike. The count evens at 1-1.
And they say, the laws of physics do anyway, that a fastball does not actually rise on its way to the plate, a four-seamer, but it's actually a trick of the eyes. Your eyes tell you it's going to be one place.
And this is a high fly ball for Crane to right field. Nolan Early has a beat on it, and he makes the catch for a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're going to the bottom of the fifth here in Marion. The Otters are on top 3-0 on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
On the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV. Frontier League Baseball on a Sunday evening. The Evansville Otters on top of the Southern Illinois Miners 3-0. Ryan Brown alongside. I'm Zane Clodfelter, and stepping into the batter's box to start the bottom of the fifth, it's Jared Meng, the left fielder. And the first pitch from Holdgrafer is lined down the left field line. This will be a base hit, and Meng is looking for extra bases on his way to second, and he will be there sliding in for a leadoff double.
Credit Meng with taking advantage of a first pitch slider. Don't see that all too often, of course, to lead off an inning with a 3-run lead, but he was ready for it and able to shoot it out to the to the corner and left. And he's aboard as the Miners are looking to break into the run column.
At this stage, if you're Southern Illinois, you have to get a little bit more aggressive in terms of approaching Tim Holdgrafer here with the deficit, as we've now reached the halfway point in this game. And stepping in is Ian Walters, the third baseman. And here's a line shot to Crane that's caught in an impressive play, and he looks over to second base with the shortstop Pinner covering, but the runner Meng back in plenty of time.
Nice job by Crane on the play. A lot of that is reaction, of course. There's not a whole lot of time to think about the screamer coming in right around your eyes. But good job to look back to second, and maybe even a better job by Jared Meng to freeze where he was in the liner, get back to second.
So a runner in scoring position, one out, and here's the first pitch to Anthony Brocato. Taken for a walk. And the video board tells the fans here gathered in Marion to clap. A few of them do. Youthful crowd here this evening in Marion. A lot of kids with the earlier start time at 5 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. The next pitch, a swing and a miss, 0-2.
Get ahead of that breaking ball. There is a Cardinals game in St. Louis tonight, isn't there? Or this afternoon?
There was. It started at 1 o'clock, but was delayed by rain by the time I got to the ballpark here today.
Thinking that probably competes with the attendance here at Rent One Park, too.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And a nice strikeout pitch there from Holdgrafer. Gets Brocato for the second out in the frame. By the time I got here, the Pirates were having a pitcher making his major league debut. He was throwing a perfect game through 5. Haven't been able to check on that, but we'll pass that along as the evening progresses and see what's going on in St. Louis as John Cable steps to the left-handed batter's box, awaiting the first pitch from Tim Holdgrafer. Bottom of the 5th, Evansville on top at 3-0. There is a runner in scoring position at second base, and the first pitch, Cable is swinging for the fences, trying to tie the game with only one runner on, down by 3.
This is such a great way to test Tim Holdgrafer, see what he's made of. Again, this is just his first professional season in pro ball, and he starts the inning with a leadoff double. Can he leave him stranded there?
The next pitch, and that's a tough pitch to take if you're John Cable, but he would know the strike zone from Andrew Oxford tonight, being the catcher for the opposition. One count, and it would be impressive if you can strand that leadoff double at second base. Don't even let him think about getting to third. Here's the next pitch, and it's in there, a called strike, 1-2, and now just one strike away from stranding that leadoff double.
Well, if Mang scores, you think, oh, we're right in this one from the Miners' perspective. If not, you're led to believe, what else are we supposed to do?
Right. The 1-2 pitch. Holdgrafer to Cable on its way, and it's outside. And Mike Shannon, longtime voice of the Cardinals, it's actually his last season in the booth, year number 50 after a storied playing career for the Redbirds in the 60s, winning 2 World Series. He'll tell you there's no momentum between game to game, but there are momentum swings within the game based on the runners that you're stranding on base. Deuces are wild here in Marion. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner in scoring position on second. The pitch from Holdgrafer. We're waiting for it. Here it is. And it's fouled. We'll do it again.
To your point on momentum from inning to inning, not only does Mike Shannon believe that too, but to bring it also close to home in that Otters dugout, veterans like John Schultz talk about momentum all the time after games when they're talking to their younger players and trying to impart that wisdom. Big believers of momentum in a baseball game in Evansville.
See if Evansville can seize more of that momentum. A 3-0 lead, a runner in scoring position, a 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Holdgrafer to Cable, and that's again fouled. And Cable doing a good job here of at least running this pitch count up here for Tim Holdgrafer.
Definitely battling, staying with it. Holdgrafer doesn't want to lose Cable, the number 9 man, and bring up the top of the order to boot.
46 strikes, 22 balls thrown, and 4 2/3 for Holdgrafer so far. Here's the next pitch, and it's a fly ball down the left field line, and it is a foul ball. And I don't know, Ryan, I really thought to the naked eye as I watched it go, I thought that was going to be a base hit.
From the eye test, my thought was it hit the line. We're not going to have any kind of an argument from Mike Pinto, the Miners manager. But an interesting point to note with that runner at second, the third base umpire, Chris Dykman, who'd usually be making that call, was nowhere to be found by the line, so home plate umpire Andrew Oxford had to take over fair or foul duties.
And that's a long way away, and where the ball landed was actually in sun-splashed field where Oxford, our home plate umpire, is currently in shadow, so perhaps that had something to do with the visual element there, but a break potentially for the Otters. We're not privy to the Frontier League live stream that Southern has here currently, but here's a ground ball to the second baseman, Davis, and a throw over. And the Otters do strand that runner at second base. The leadoff double can't come home to score, and we're through 5. The Otters on top 3-0 on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Back here in Marion, Illinois, Rent One Park, home of the Southern Illinois Miners since 2007. Trent Johnson back on the mound for Southern Illinois as we go to the 6th here. Sun is setting off to our west behind us. And Elijah McNamee will lead things off for the Evansville Otters, looking to build on a 3-run lead here. The only Frontier League game currently in progress on June 27th. All the other games have gone final, and the first pitch to McNamee is a ball, 1-0. Ryan going over a couple of these scores here. Lake Erie beat Windy City 8-3. Schaumburg took it to Joliet 12-1. Sussex County beat the New York Boulders 12-2 as that pitch misses. Now 2-0. A couple of other finals. The Jackals of New Jersey beat Ikeep Quebec 10-3. Good news for Evansville. The Gateway Grizzlies getting a win in Florence against the Yalls 8-4. The 2-0 pitch. And it's a pop-up. Foul territory, or perhaps fair territory. And it is fair territory for the first baseman for Southern Illinois as Luke Mangieri shielded his eyes and retires McNamee with that pop-up. And 2 other finals as Washington beat Tri-City. The Valley Cats coming in with the worst record in the league. They fall even further down in the standings, losing 7-4 today. And the Crushers beat Windy City in the second game of a doubleheader 6-2 as Dakota Phillips steps into the left-handed batter's box.
Well, the 2 scores I was paying attention to, thinking about there. Well, Sussex County, mostly for pride. They're now a game and a half back with that win right now of Evansville.
Phillips fouls it down the first base line, 0-1 as Johnson works ahead.
And that's a game and a half back in quote-unquote the, I guess you'd call them the pride standings. Who's the best of the best
right
in the Frontier League? But more importantly, how about the Gateway Grizzlies taking a series from the Florence Yalls?
Really impressive for them. They perhaps finding their stride here as the pitch misses the zone, now 1-1. And there are going to be teams, there's a lot of parity in this Frontier League. You can look at the records, but any team is capable of beating anyone else on any given night. We've seen that historically, and we've seen it so far this year as Phillips drives this one to left field. The left fielder is chasing, and he's looking up. It's a home run, a solo shot for Dakota Phillips. His 5th homer of the year and RBI number 23 as he touches them all in Marion.
Well, this is not cheating. Dakota Phillips, who impressively has hit a number of opposite field home runs and demonstrating a lot of power. He had to get that ball up into the jet stream, which is not too far away, and then it carried all the way out of here as Jared Mann could only watch it fly.
Dakota Phillips listed at 6'3", 224. He's a strong guy. And as you mentioned, opposite field shot, and this will be worthy of at least a mound visit here to discuss things for Southern Illinois' sake. With Trent Johnson, the pitching coach, is out. Pitching coach here, as Ryan has already mentioned, is Eric Minchel in his first season. And interesting to note for Southern Illinois, their pitching coach, hitting coach, and assistant coach all in their first seasons here in Marion. Former Otter Steve Marino, who has his number retired in left field in Marion at Rent One Park, number 14. He was previously on staff through the 19th season, was not back this year, and they are going to make a call to the bullpen as Trent Johnson's day is done. The Phillips homer does him in. And we're going to have a call to the bullpen. We'll tell you who's coming in for the Miners when we come back on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV.
Do you want to do the pitch?
The call to the bullpen for Southern Illinois, it's Stevie Ledesma, wears number 22. 6'5", 215-pounder from Ventura, California. Played in rookie ball in the Tigers organization in 2019. As John Schultz steps into the batter's box. Otters with a 4-0 lead here in the sixth. Adding to that advantage here this inning, Ryan, with Dakota Phillips with that impressive opposite field shot.
He saw the ace come down on the felt table, got the 10, and that's what we call a Dak Jack.
The Dak Jack. I've heard about him on your calls on the road broadcast, but now I finally got to see one outside of Bosse Field, as it's a 2-0 count on John Schultz.
Also want to apologize for rookie mistake. Starting to talk as you were bringing up the
You're good.
The mixer.
It is what it is, Ryan Brown.
It is what it is.
3-0
I haven't gotten
count.
to bust that one out as a rookie.
You strive for perfection. My Otters email signature will say you strive for perfection and you settle for excellence. Terry Hepner, the late Indiana football coach, saying that. Paraphrasing Don Shula, as that pitch is in there called strike 3-1.
It's pretty good.
That's my goal every day at the Otters. Bosse Field, or if I'm here in Marion. The next pitch, a 3-1, and the bat boy put his knee up to protect his face, so he'd rather the knee get knocked out instead of the face. That's probably a smart decision. Shadows completely now covering the batter's box on both sides of the plate here in Marion. The shadow, for those interested, covering about half of the infield now, is the next pitch, and John Schultz has taken a walk.
He took a walk.
The Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar. And I'm looking for the Johnny Cash or the other songs that we have at the ballpark. We have 4 or 5 walk songs queued up.
Do you play? It's tough sometimes to keep into the PA music while also doing the scorecard and a couple of things.
Aerosmith's Walk This Way. We take care of our fans here. We give them everything they could want, all the walk reference songs, as Christopher Pujols takes a strike, 0-1.
Now, I don't know the name of song, but do you do the one that's like, I took a walk, took a walk, took a walk?
For sure, that's on the Bossy Field playlist. As Pujols with a high fly ball down the left field line. And again, a nice play there right on the line in left field by Jared Mang. The public address announcer here at Southern Illinois, if you could hear him on our crowd mic, telling you that Josh Henderson is now coming up to bat. Otters a run in the second, 2 runs in the fourth, and a run here in the sixth, thanks to Dak Jack, as Ryan Brown would call it, from Dakota Phillips to left field, opposite field power. And with John Schultz at first base after the walk, here's Henderson taking a strike, 0-1.
Feels like a long time ago that Henderson first cracked the scoreboard with that infield single to short.
Big play there to give the Otters a little bit of a jolt offensively, and a big swing and a miss there, falling behind 0-2. Evansville had all the runs on Friday night. Lost in a heartbreaker last night here in Marion, 3-2. And looking to take 2 out of 3. Tony La Russa would approve of a 2-1 weekend series. That's how he won so many Central Division titles with the Cardinals. That was his mindset. And here's a line shot, an impressive grab there at first base by Luke Mangieri for the final out in the inning. We're going to the home half of the sixth. The Otters now on top, 4-0 on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV. Bottom of the sixth, the Miners looking for an offensive answer, trailing Evansville 4-0 in the rubber game of this 3-game weekend series. And top of the order to you for the Miners, Carson Bartles, the second baseman. Will try to get something started against Holdgrafer, who through 5 innings has 5 donuts on that scoreboard. First pitch is taken for a strike. Zane Clodfelter, Ryan Brown on the Otters Digital Network. An off day tomorrow, much needed for Evansville after this road trip through the state of Illinois, and then back at Bossy for the first of 3 on Tuesday. The next pitch to Holdgrafer. From Holdgrafer to Bartles. And it's 1-1.
Big test for Holdgrafer. He was tested his last inning with that leadoff double, but now he's going through this lineup for the 3rd time.
So we'll see if Southern Illinois able to pick up anything. And after watching that swing and a miss by Bartles, the leadoff man, apparently not so far, as Holdgrafer has it working here. Came in with a .550 ERA in 18 innings pitched, with 22 strikeouts and doing a yeoman's job here today. The 1-2, and it barely misses there, now 2-2.
Really fine outing for Holdgrafer. Just 3 over the minimum.
Very easy start. He's been able to dictate this pace a lot, and the next pitch is a flail shot, but it'll hang up long enough for Elijah McNamee to make the catch for out number 1 as Bartles is retired, and that'll bring in Yeltsin Gudinho.
Elijah McNamee with that play. Not the hardest play in the world. Sometimes it can be a little difficult reading that line drive out toward right field off a right-handed batter. But the cool, confident defense of a great outfielder, Elijah McNamee, waited a second, came in when he knew where it was going to be.
McNamee, of course, used to playing in SEC baseball where there's 10 to 14,000 fans at every one of his conference games on a weekend, where you have to have season tickets if you want to watch that college baseball. The 1-0 pitch coming to Gudinho from Holdgrafer. And it's a chopper down the third base line. A nice play there by Pujols throwing over. And Crane able to keep his foot on the bag for out number 2. Mark it 5-3 in your book.
That's a special kind of save from Crane right there. Crane, his other corner infielder, Christopher Pujols, sharing a little bit of love after the play. Pujols appreciative. Crane says, I got you, brother. No worries. Nice having a big, tall dude over there at first.
It is, with a jumping ability as well in Riley Crane. Here's Luke Mangieri. First pitch he takes is in there, a called strike, 0-1, as Holdgrafer looking to get through 6 scoreless here in Marion and helping out that bullpen with an off day scheduled for tomorrow. Looking for the sign from Phillips. He has the 1-0 once, and here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. 0-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. Otters on top in the 6-4-0.
Looks like Mangieri's been looking fastball perhaps, gotten 2 off-speed pitches. The one, Holdgrafer able to twirl in for the first strike. That one, over the top of it is Mangieri with the swing.
The 0-2 pitch. Holdgrafer looking for 6 scoreless innings, and Mangieri, perhaps gamesmanship here, asks for time, and the home plate umpire, Andrew Oxford, grants it. He'll reset, and the 0-2. 2-out pitch. Ryan and I are waiting for it. Here it is. Just outside 1-2.
A lot of waiting for a whole lot of nothing.
That's a very good point. That's baseball, though, in a nutshell.
Sometimes. That's the battle, though.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's a fly ball to center field. Gordon camps under it and makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down. Ryan Brown's going to tell you about the 7th. Otters are on top 4-0 on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live TV.
We love our children and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. When you choose Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have great doctors and great care to help your child stay healthy. And that is something to smile about. Choose Anthem to help keep your children healthy and happy. Enroll today. Call 1-800-403-0864. To learn more, visit www.anthem.com/inmedicaid.
back third of the ball game in Marion, Illinois. Evansville Otters taking on the Southern Illinois Miners. Ryan Brown alongside Zane Clodfelter here at Rent One Park. Top of the order for the Otters, Miles Gordon, Andrew Penner, and J.R. Davis facing Stevie Ledesma. First pitch swinging is Gordon. Can't catch up to the fastball. He's down on the count 0-1 now, facing Stevie Ledesma, who got the final 2 outs of the 6th, following a walk he issued to John Schultz. Next pitch misses low. 1-1 on Gordon, who is 0 for 3. Couple of fly balls and a punch out mixed in. Otters with a 4-0 lead here in the rubber match of this opening series. Half swing, comebacker to the mound. Ledesma, underhand toss to first. 1 down in the top of the 7th.
Very much an excuse me swing right there. I think realized last minute that he didn't want to swing, but made contact anyway, so he had to run down to first.
Tough break.
Very tough break, but that's baseball.
That's baseball. That's just the way it is. 0 for 3 is Andrew Penner. He takes a pitch high for ball 1. 1-0. On the Otters shortstop. Had come into today's action, 10 for his first 30. And he hits this out toward the corner and right. Question of, it falls fair. That will be extra bases for Penner. He's around first, standing at second now with a 1-out double.
A week ago today, I was on the air at Bossy Field. You were on assignment elsewhere, and Andrew Penner got Bill McCune's Gold Star of the game, and must be something about Sundays for Andrew Penner that he loves to break out the bat. Obviously been a consistent force for the Otters since his acquisition, but Sundays even more so, an impact player.
It was a week ago today. You were on the call, and Andrew Penner must have liked what he heard because he had a multi-hit game, drove in 4 ribbies. Nice day for him at the plate. A week ago, he's now 1 for 4 with a double, and here, another double to his credit, J.R. Davis, who takes a strike on a breaking ball. Davis 1 for 3. He doubled back in the 3rd. He faces Stevie Ledesma with a runner at second and 1 out. Otters lead by 4, but I think they'd take another if it were offered.
Absolutely, especially after Wednesday night in Joliet, where you saw there a 4-run lead was not good enough there in the later innings.
Evaporated in the 8th, so 5 is the comfy number. And a little cue shot out toward right field. It finds a hole. They're going to wave Penner, and he will score without a throw. An RBI base knock for J.R. Davis, hitting them where they ain't. 5-0 in the top of the 7th.
If you weren't going to say it, I was. So that's the key. Get on base. Second baseman and the first baseman were mixed up there and crossed up on that shot through the right side of the infield, and the Otters have more insurance here, which is so crucial.
The base hit drives home Penner from second. Now it brings up Riley Crane, who flew out to right his last time. Looking for damage. Runner at first, 1 out. Ledesma gets his sign. He's set at the belt. First pitch to Crane. Misses high, 1-0.
And if you're pitching to Riley Crane as Ledesma, you don't want to miss upstairs because that allows him the opportunity to extend those arms and put all of his power into a shot.
My poor little heart's aflutter. I'm excited. The 1-0 misses out. 2-0 now, and with every subsequent pitch that puts Crane into a better hitter's count, you know there's just all kinds of fire and heck to be let loose.
You see some guys in the Southern Illinois bullpen warming up or starting to get at least a little bit loose.
2-0 fouled back to the netting.
There's somebody stirring up there.
Oh, they're stirring it. And the Otters offensively, they're stirring the pot. 5-0 the lead. The 2-1. Ground ball to the right side. The first baseman, Jerry, onto the shortstop covering the bag. But a good slide from J.R. Davis makes Gudinho have to receive that one off balance, so he'll have no throw at first. It's a 3-6 fielder's choice. Crane now aboard with 2 out.
And that was a really good play by Southern Illinois. The Otters have been really good with runners in scoring position today, so it's important for them to stay in the contest to keep runners off of second and third. And with that play, you're basically replacing the guy at first base. Not a threat unless, obviously, it goes over the wall for a home run. Which McNamee, you never know.
McNamee stands in. Elijah McNamee for the Otters. First pitch misses outside. 87 on the radar gun from Ledesma. McNamee 1 for 3. He doubled in the fourth. Scored a run in that frame. Bats with a runner at first and 2 out. 0-1 breaking ball. 1-0 breaking ball is in there. 1-1. Nice bender from Ledesma. That's his name. McNamee 1 for 3. Another extra base hit could put the Otters up 6. Fastball there misses out.
And I'm looking for the microphone, Ryan, so I can steal it and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here at this ballpark,
Oh,
too.
go get it.
They probably won't like it as much as our fans at Bosse Field do.
Oh, I think they'd like it.
I don't think they would. I don't think people at Bosse Field like it.
No, sir, that's not true. The 2-1 misses up and away. Because we've been going on the road, and you should hear some of the renditions of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." It makes, I'm sure, all of these Otters very wishful that they'll be back home and get to hear the melodious tones of one Mr. Zane Clodfelter.
For a big weekday series, too, against the Yalls.
3-1. And it's hammered out to left center field. That's going to split the gap for extra bases. And unfortunately for the Otters, it will skip over the wall for a ground rule double. Riley Crane might have been home easy, but Elijah McNamee will be happy with a 2-out ground rule double that puts runners at second and third for Dakota Phillips.
No, the ground rule double, Ryan, you said it, coming into play here. If it stays within the park and doesn't leave after the ricochet off the turf, I really think that Riley Crane would have scored easily just with the jump he had. But here, a big RBI opportunity for someone who already has had a monster shot in this game just the inning prior in Dakota Phillips.
Phillips, the homer, the last inning, put the Otters up 4-0. They've scored 1 here in the top of the 7th. They're looking for more. Phillips is 1 for 2 with that homer. He also walked and scored a run back in the second. He's got McNamee off second. Crane off of third with 2 out, facing Stevie Ledesma. First pitch misses low. They went off speed to Phillips. John Schultz is on deck. They've got a base open, but John Schultz, he's no easy out. The wily veteran batter.
Who will eventually be in the Frontier League Hall of Fame. I'll say that right now. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah. Ledesma, he's got his sign. He's set. The 1-0. Fastball misses low in the dirt. Crane's going to charge toward home, and he will slide in safely. Heads up base running from Riley Crane off third, and the Otters lead 6-0 in the top of the 7th after the wild pitch.
Ryan, I'll tell you, I thought Ledesma a little nonchalant off the pitcher's mound. If he covers home plate a little bit better, there might have been a throw there where the catcher, Cable, could have thrown to him and potentially tabbed the runner trying to score.
I think you're exactly right. Cable was actually left to try to make his way toward home plate by himself. The 2-0 to Phillips. Swinging for the fences. He's underneath the fastball at 90, 2-1. McNamee advances to third on the wild pitch.
I mean, if you're Southern Illinois in this game and in this series, every base is important.
2-1 fastball inside part of the plate at 89. Phillips, from the body language, doesn't look like he's in love with that call from home plate umpire Andrew Oxford.
He'll have to quickly forgive him, though, because he's going to be squatting in front of him in the next half inning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he'll remind him of that call, I'm sure, in the next half inning. Runner at third, 2 out, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ledesma eventually gets out of the inning, but not before the Otters tack on a couple of runs. An RBI single for J.R. Davis, as Riley Crane, also thanks to a double from Elijah McNamee, will come around to score on a wild pitch. The Otters, they now lead it 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th and stretch time at Rent One Park. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Tim Holdgrafer still on the mound, and why not? A 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 6th. He's got a 6-run lead. First pitch to Gianfranco Wawu. Fastball misses inside, 1-0. Wawu early and Mang 4, 5, and 6. Wawu 0 for 2 against Holdgrafer to this point. The wind and the 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. They go back to the fastball. 6-0 the score. Otters with the lead. Here at Rent One Park, Ryan Brown alongside Zane Clodfelter on the call. It's been a nice evening for the Otters at the plate and for Holdgrafer on the mound. The breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-2.
And I'm sure for Max Peterson and Andy McCauley, the 2 runs in the top half of this inning, allowing Tim Holdgrafer another opportunity with more insurance and more wiggle room.
1-2 runs in. Not able to get much wiggle room out of the way of that one is Gianfranco Wawu, who's hit by a pitch and will be aboard to begin the bottom of the 7th.
That will be a bruise.
That's going to leave a mark. It brings up Nolan Early, who's 0 for 2. The fine outing by Tim Holdgrafer. Really, no matter how it ends, an excellent outing. And one Mr. Max Peterson has to think of it like some kind of a special treat for him on this, the Otters pitching coach's birthday. Happy birthday to Max Peterson. And I'm sure Tim Holdgrafer is delivering a gift better than any cake could be.
Except Otters TV, we were there. Pre-game, we will have video footage of Riley Crane was great presenting the cake. The players singing to him prior to the game, and that was the boost Evansville needed, at least so far today with that 6-run lead.
0-1 to Nolan Early. It's a ground ball to the right side in foul territory. Riley Crane makes the catch.
And Max took it very well.
Oh,
as well as you would expect Max Peterson to take a surprise birthday cake. And it was lit.
Yep.
Effort was made to light all the candles.
Yep. With grace, dignity, humility, with prestige is the best way to explain that.
I love being wished happy birthday. I know some people don't. I don't understand. I love every birthday I get.
The 0-2 misses outside, and Peterson handled that fine line so perfectly.
He did.
He wasn't going to kill anybody's joy. He wasn't necessarily reveling in it, but just very, very gracious and accepting.
He saw our 2 red polos in the clubhouse and knew he was on camera.
He knew something was up. 1-2. That misses just off the plate.
And we're not going to say who coordinated the effort and the cake and all the pageantry pregame. We're not allowed to say that.
Mum is the word.
Unless you bribe us enough.
Well, now you're making some points. The 2-2 to the plate, and it's a line shot out toward left center. That will be a base hit. Runners at first and second with nobody out.
Have to imagine here, Ryan, that the Otters get somebody up and active here in the bullpen.
Samson Abernathy looks like he's standing up. Don't know if he will grab a glove and start to throw. But we will bring that information to you if we see some movement.
And the Miners fans are actively engaged because they're a hit away from getting free pizza sticks, whatever those are.
Is that right?
You have to get 5 hits in the game, and I'm sure in previous games that's not a hard total to reach, but so far with Holdgrafer on the mound, he's made him beg.
Past the diving third baseman Christopher Pujols down the line. This will put the Miners on the board. It's extra bases for Jared Mang. 1 run is home. And by the time Josh Henderson is able to grab it in the corner, they will send another. Nolan Early and Gianfranco Wawu scoring. It's now a 6-2 game in the bottom of the 7th.
So 2 runs score, and there's your Joe's Pizza Sticks for the, I would say, 1,000 fans here gathered at Renton One Park on a Sunday. And
it's
here's
a double for Jared Mang.
An opportunity by Phillips, and yeah, here comes Max Peterson. We saw Phillips go out and now trying to buy some time for those warming up in the Otters bullpen.
Max Peterson on out of the Otters dugout. This will be just a conversation with Tim Holdgrafer, you'd have to imagine. I think they just started to get Tyler Spring loose. As the meeting concludes, the infield will return to its positions. They wanted to give Tyler Spring, I'm sure, a little bit of a breather, a chance to be ready, just in case. Holdgrafer not able to get Ian Walters, who is 0 for 2 thus far. He lined out to first his last time. Again, he is the big game winner from last night, hitting that walk-off ground rule double. First pitch to Walters. Breaking ball misses in. Walters batting now in a 6-2 ball game. Nice that the Otters added a couple of insurance runs in the top of the 7th. Runner in scoring position, still nobody out. Grounded foul to the right side.
Holdgrafer has left a couple of these pitches up and out over the plate, allowing those Miners batters to extend. If you're going to miss in the zone, you want to miss low. Contact will not be as good. And that's something we had seen from Tim Holdgrafer the first 6 innings. Very good at doing that, and then this inning has been a struggle just a tad bit.
1-1 to Walters. A hard hit ground ball to the right side, but no problem for J.R. Davis at second. He throws over to Riley Crane for the first out of the inning as Jared Mang advances to third.
But that is now a big run over at third base with just 1 out. Sacrifice fly pulls Southern Illinois here within 3, and I think, Ryan, we might have a pinch hitter.
Addressed on the loudspeaker here, a new pinch hitter. Exactly right there, Zane. It's Ryan Stacy, pinch hitting for Anthony Brocado.
From Sugar Land, Texas. He played for the Nerds Herd in 2020. What a team name.
That Nerds Herd up around Joliet, that City of Champions Cup. And here comes Max Peterson as he crosses the third base line. That will be it for Tim Holdgrafer as Tyler Spring will come on to keep this ball game right where it is. The Otters with a 6-2 lead, bottom of the 7th, runner at third and 1 out, about to face a pinch hitter, Ryan Stacy. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Tyler Spring on out of the bullpen. Runner at third, one out. Ryan Stacy pinch hitting the first pitch. He's behind a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. One down, runner at third. 6-2 the score. Tyler Spring on to relieve Tim Holdgrafer, whose runner is aboard in the form of Jared Mang at third. Spring gets his sign. Set at the belt, looking to jump ahead of Stacy, the 0-1. And he does. Stacy behind another 90-mile-per-hour heater. 0-2. Stacy, by the way, the pinch hitter, has had limited success this season. He's 13 for his first 63, 206 batting average, 4 doubles, no triples, no homers. He's driven in 7. We'll tell you about Spring's good numbers in just a moment. The 0-2. Fastball misses up and away. Tyler Spring, arguably the best reliever in the Frontier League to this point. A 2-0 record, but really important for his stat line. This is his 15th appearance, and through 14 outings in 20 2/3 innings, he has not allowed an earned run to score. The 1-2, and Stacy fouls this off his foot. 1-2, the count remains on Stacy.
In closing the book on Holdgrafer, there's still a runner with his responsibility at third, but 6 1/3 innings. He gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and he faced 25 batters, Ryan.
Phenomenal outing for Holdgrafer. 1-2, sails to the backstop, and a nice job by Tyler Spring to make sure he was racing toward home plate as Dakota Phillips got a fortuitous hop off the backstop, and that will keep that runner, Jared Mang, at third.
Most definitely a wild pitch because you saw Tyler Spring signal to Dakota, "My bad." Admitting that pitch getting away, but yeah, what a nice bounce. It was thrown so hard it came back that far.
Yeah. Now the 2-2. And that fastball also misses upstairs to Stacy. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The number 9 batter, John Cable, waits on deck. Spring, through his first 20 2/3, has walked 8 and impressively struck out 23. The 3-2, and a pitch that was probably up and in, cut on and missed by Ryan Stacy. The slider getting into his kitchen. He fouled it back. 3-2.
By the way, we referenced it earlier. Kranick, the Pittsburgh pitcher who had the 5 perfect games, he did go 5 innings. That rain delay knocked him out, but the Pirates still winning 7-2 in St. Louis to take 3 out of 4.
3-2 misses upstairs and outside to Ryan Stacy. Now runners at the corners with 1 out. Spring, I'm sure, just shaking off a little bit of dust. Coming into the ball game out of the bullpen.
And a double play would be Tyler Spring's best friend right here.
Just what the doctor ordered, and Tim Holdgrafer would be pretty happy about stranding that runner at third to boot.
Otters have already turned 1 double play, a 6-4-3 earlier today.
First pitch to Cable. That misses high and away. They tried to start Cable off with the breaking ball. It misses. 1-0 on the Miners' backstop Cable. The 1-0. Fastball misses in. 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler Spring, the Wiggins, Mississippi native, facing John Cable of Roswell, Georgia. (2-0). And that slider not able to find the outside edge on the lefty batter. Cable misses out. 3-0.
Pujols coming over from his spot at third base to give a couple words of encouragement to Spring. Big at bat here.
Especially against Cable, who was 6 for 11 in his previous 5 games ahead of the series. The 3-0 lays in a strike. Outside part of the plate, 3-1. Cable had gone 6 for 11 entering this series with Evansville. He'd also driven in 5. He bats with runners at the corners, 1 out. Otters lead by 4. 3-1 to Cable. Misses up and away. Back-to-back walks will load the bases.
And this isn't what Max Peterson and Andy McCauley ordered up, because now, amazingly, here comes the tying run potentially to the plate. And what makes matters even more stressful for Evansville, Ryan, is now it's back to the top of the order for this Miners lineup.
Carson Bartels, he's 1 for 3. He bats with Mang off third, Stacy off second, Cable off of first. Bases loaded, only 1 out. The first pitch, and that missed high perhaps. Slider from Spring. Started it inside, tried to get it to break back over the plate. Spring comes set, staring at the runner off third, the 1-0. Back to that slider again, it misses in. They elected to go with breaking balls to begin the at-bat. Both missed. Now a 2-0 fastball count on the leadoff batter and second baseman for the Miners, Carson Bartels. 2-0. Had to be a fastball. It's fouled back to the right and out of play.
All the Otters need, Ryan, is a ground ball. So many double play combinations that you can utilize here with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Oh, take your pick.
How about a 1-2-3?
I'd be happy for it. The 2-1. And a high pop to the right side. No problem for Riley Crane. There's a big out, number 2, as the bases remain loaded.
With the infield fly put into effect by our umpires, so advance at your own risk, Ryan Brown. None of them did.
It brings up Yeltsin Gudino following the infield fly. Gudino 0 for 3. He bats with the bases loaded and 2 out, facing Tyler Spring. First pitch. Breaking ball called a strike inside corner, 0-1. That is something that Spring has been missing. Again, just into the 4th batter of his appearance. Now ahead of Gudino, 0-1. Pitch to the plate. Ground ball left side, backhanded by Penner. It gets through into left. This will score 1, then 2. It's now a 6-4 game following what will likely be ruled an error on the shortstop, Penner.
Yeah, that was hit deep in the hole on the left side of the infield, Ryan, but if Penner gloves it cleanly and throws, I think that's an easy out, and the Otters are out of this mess. But now the tying run is on. It's 6-4, and you have Luke Mangieri batting third in the lineup. He's the potential go-ahead run, as it looks like we'll have another conversation on the mound with Max Peterson, the birthday boy, making yet another trip.
Now that is the first earned run allowed to score off of Tyler Spring, as they do rule that a base hit, and some good reason to as well. As you mentioned, deep in the hole, had to be a backhand play, and the throw on to first. I agree, good chance he would have got it, but no guarantee.
Here's the thing, though, Ryan. We've seen Andrew Penner make tremendous plays defensively at Bosse Field. The official score here in Marion isn't privy to that information, obviously working for the Miners. if he would have seen what we've seen from Pinner, we were expecting him to make the play.
I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. So Gudinho at first, Cable at second, following the two-run single, and we're going to have a little conversation between home plate umpire Andrew Oxford and Max Peterson, who wanted to wait for a little bit longer than Oxford was willing to give Peterson. Tyler Spring is going to be coming out of this ball game as a new right-hander will be on the pitch for the Otters. We'll tell you about him in just a moment. Crunch time in the bottom of the seventh, 6-4 the score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Six for the score in the bottom of the seventh. 4 already home. Taylor Wright on to relieve Tyler Spring. Runners at first and second, 2 out. He faces the number 3 batter, Luke Mangieri, who is 1 for 2. He's also reached base safely via the base on balls. Wright also last night gave up the walk-off ground rule double to Ian Walters. Importantly, he gets ahead of Mangieri here, 0-1.
Crucial for Evansville here to stop the bleeding with a 4-run fourth already for the Miners here in the seventh.
To Mangieri. Fastball misses just inside. I think they wanted that one.
I wanted it too, Ryan.
1-1 the count. Tyler Spring, a rare, somewhat ineffective performance. He was able to get 1 out, but a couple of walks and a ground ball through the left side. It was time to pull him. Now, ground ball to the right. They should get out of it. Riley Crane, they will. Able to take it up and take it on to the bag for the final out of the seventh. Nice job by Taylor Wright to come into the pressure cooker, as you said, between innings. And
we might have an ejection here, Ryan. Somebody got thrown out of the Otters dugout.
Andy McCauley is on to have a heated conversation with Andrew Oxford. He is getting right in his face. He's being shoved out of the way by James Purnell. The cap is off, and he wants to get at Oxford to give him a piece of his mind. He is right behind home plate. He is set up. He is throwing his hand into the air, and he's being blocked right now by Andrew Oxford, by James Purnell and Chris Dykman.
And honestly, Ryan, I agree. I felt Tim Holdgrafer had a different strike zone than what Spring and Wright both had out of the bullpen. You have to have consistency, especially from that home plate umpire, and that's what Andy was demonstrating as he knelt behind home plate showing the zone.
Well, I'd love to know what in the world was the ejection for?
So the home plate umpire, Andrew Oxford, after that final out, turned to the Otters dugout. There might have been chirping, and it looked like he warned him. And here's the most awkward thing about being in Marion and a couple of the other ballparks in the Frontier League. At Bosse Field, if the manager gets tossed, you go through the main tunnel and out of sight. Now, Andy McCauley being tossed has to walk all the way to right field to go back to the visitors' clubhouse.
Are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that they've thrown out Andy McCauley for a passing comment after the Otters get out of the bottom of the seventh? I mean, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, bad umpiring there for sure. And I'm not one to criticize umpires.
You know, I'm sorry to kind of pull off the veil of objectivity or unbiased, but I feel the unbiased reporting, the objective reporting here is, I don't know if I have ever seen a manager get tossed from a ball game following a final out getting made on the play. I mean, I cannot imagine what was worthwhile to have been said that was demanding of an ejection there. That's kind of hard to believe. Well, the Otters will have to get it back up and running. I mean, following the surprising ejection, it'll be John Schultz, Christopher Pujols, and Josh Henderson to bat. 7, 8, 9. Andrew Oxford, the quick hook to Andy McCauley.
And you don't think Andy McCauley wants this game and this series victory for a 4-2 road trip?
No
we just
question.
saw he wants it.
McCauley was thrown out of a game in Joliet. Again, it was a similar situation insofar as a very quick hook. The first pitch, a called strike on Schultz, outside part of the plate, and you probably saw Schultz there, the quick cocking of the neck to the right side, his head, thinking, I don't know about that one. The 0-1 is lifted out toward left center field. Left fielder, Jared Mang underneath it. 2 pitches, 1 down in the top of the 8th. Evansville leads 6-4.
But now with Boots Day as our acting manager, it's not like we have a rookie with the lineup card now.
No, that's nice.
The first manager of Evansville Otters history in 1995 after the team came over from Lancaster, Ohio. In 93 and 94, they came to Evansville, and Boots Day was the man.
6-4 the score. First pitch to Christopher Pujols. Fouled off to the right and out of play.
I don't blame Andy trying to get out of Marion as quick as he can.
Oh, what?
I went there. I'm sorry.
This is low and outside, 1-1.
I promise I'll stop stirring the pot, Ryan. With that comment, that was it.
Hey, this is a line drive into the right center field gap. This will be extra bases for Christopher Pujols. If he can get into second base in time, he slides in safely with no throw. The Otters have a one-out man in scoring position following the double to right center field by Christopher Pujols.
It's been a great day for Christopher Pujols, and that is a very big run, Ryan, in the top of the 8th. The Miners have fought back. They were down 6 runs, all seemed lost for them, and then a 4-run 7th. And perhaps Andy's ejection might light a little bit of a fire in his team's performance here, telling them, hey, don't stop that line. Let's keep this offensive track going.
Light the fire and punch back following that 4-run 7th for the Miners. Josh Henderson, the first pitch he sees, he fouls back to the left and out of play.
We'll say now that Andy McCauley has been ejected, you have Bobby Siegel, the hitting coach. He's giving directions and signs at third base with those beautiful high socks, the stirrups.
Good old-fashioned look right there. Runner at second, 1 out. And a little inside move from Stevie Ledesma, who's still on the mound, but no one at the bag. So Pujols will just take a couple of steps to his left. The 0-1 to Henderson, and this is hit out toward left center field. Pujols We'll head back to the bag. Mang makes the catch. Pujols to third with 2 out. And though that could be an inconsequential 90 feet, an interesting point to make that it was the left fielder Mang to his left who made the catch and not center fielder Ryan Stacy.
That was tremendous base running there by Christopher Pujols. We've seen a lot of wild pitches and pass balls, some to the Otters' advantage in scoring runs here this evening. That is a crucial run just 90 feet away at third base.
2 down, top of the 8th inning. Miles Gordon bats. First pitch breaking ball misses in from Ledesma. Zane, that's a great point. You can say base runner at third, 2 out, big whoop, but too many wild pitches in this league to take any 90 feet for granted. 1-0 in there, the fastball, 1-1 on Gordon.
Especially with the turf.
Right.
Because if that hits the turf, you'll get a more fair hop, but you don't know how fast it's going to hit off.
1-1 underneath it to the right side in foul territory. The first baseman, Jerry, out around the first base coaching box, makes the catch. So a 1-out double from Christopher Pujols, but Stevie Ledesma able to work around it. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 6-4 our score. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Otters with a tight 6-4 lead. Gianfranco Wawu, Nolan Early, and Jared Mang facing off against Taylor Wright. Taylor Wright got the last out, and he gets a comebacker here. An easy enough play. Wawu going to let Wright jog alongside him to the bag as Wright tosses underhand for the first out of the bottom half of the 8th as a 1-3 comebacker. While he was on the mound in the bottom of the 7th, he was able to get Luke Mangieri to pop out to, a ground ball unassisted to the first baseman, Riley Crane. And it was after that out that something, possibly a throwaway comment from the Otters dugout, elicited a rebuke from home plate umpire Andrew Oxford, who gave a very quick hook to Andy McCauley, who has since been ejected. The first pitch is a called strike on Nolan Early. Outside part of the plate, 1 for 3, and this one is early. And an interesting point to note, Andrew Oxford was the umpire at first base last night in the top of the 9th inning when Christopher Pujols, with runners at first and second and nobody out, hit into a 6-4-3 double play. And there was a what you might call a bang-bang play at first. It seemed that everyone on the field was of the same opinion that Pujols beat the throw. And when you can go back, you can go back and look at Frontier League Live TV, the 0-2 ground ball to the right side. J.R. Davis, he has it right around the belt. He throws on to first for the second out. You too can see that Pujols beat the throw to the bag and was safe at first. Should have been runners at the corners in a tie game at 2 with only 1 out for John Schultz coming up to bat. The Otters probably felt like they had the bats taken out of their hand. It was the bottom of the ninth in which the Miners would hit a walk-off ground rule double. And I am sure Andrew Oxford, the first base umpire in last night's game, was able to hear an earful or two. Following the conclusion of that one, the first pitch now to Jared Mang misses up and in.
And Ryan, Andy McCauley, and Mike Pinto, for that matter, they know every one of these games, all 96, they're important, they're crucial, regardless of the timing in the season.
No doubt. You get 96 games. You got to try to win as many as you can. You don't know which one will be the important, the 1-0 call to strike. And not to speculate, but it is worth noting as we're going to have something pointed out here. Yeah, ground ball or a baseball loose in the field of play that needed to have a stoppage called for. Going to point out, it is interesting to note, don't know if it is the story, it is a story, that Oxford arguably blows a call last night and then a very itchy trigger finger tonight, throwing out Andy McCauley out of this one. So you never know how last night's game can bleed into the next night. The 1-0 is fouled back to the netting, 1-1. You wouldn't accuse Oxford of this, but you've got to know that there are some personalities, even in Major League Baseball, that are looking to find a way to get back at somebody. Not saying that's the case, but that is part of the story here, at least the speculation that any fan listening would be interested to hear. The 1-1, a line drive out to left field, a 2-out base hit for Jared Mang. Back-to-back base hits for him.
It's just disappointing, Ryan, because, I mean, that whole situation didn't need to happen, and had it not happened, I think, you know, we were getting ready to go to break.
Right. The inning was over. That's what's amazing. The inning was over. So that's all we'll say about it here, but we'll throw the facts out, and you listening at home, you can...
We report, you decide, and I'm stealing that from a major news organization, but we can use it tonight in Marion.
Ian Walters now bats. It's well said. The first pitch misses low, blocked by Phillips. Looks back to first. It's just something a little fishy in Marion, that's all we'll say.
I've never had the fish in Marion, but I would avoid the chicken.
"1-0 was a called strike on Walters. Count now even 1-1. 1-1. Looks like he might have tried to lay a breaking ball in there. Coming back into the zone. It misses. 2-1. Walters 0 for 3. He grounded out to second. The first out in the bottom of the 7th. Wright trying to keep this score right where it is. 2 out, runner at first. 6-4 ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning. The 2-1 is fouled back. This is the tying run at the plate in Ian Walters. He was the hero last night. That walk-off ground rule double. Following the drama we alluded to in the top of the ninth. And off the hands, Andrew Penner will be able to glove underhanded to J.R. Davis for the 6-4 fielder's choice to end the 8th. Nice inning for Taylor Wright and a fine performance so far. We'll see if they go back to him in the 9th or if it will be closer, Logan Sawyer. 6-4 the score, top 9 coming up. Otters looking for a little insurance. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
You live by what's right. It's part of who you are and what drives you to always do more, to give more. At Old National, we get it. We're the bank built on integrity and community. The bank named a world's most ethical company for the last 10 years. The bank that focuses on your financial goals every day. Because your success is everything. And that's why we're here. You live by what's right. And at Old National, we bank by it. Find us at oldnational.com/locations. Member FDIC.
Top of the ninth inning. Otters up by a couple, looking for insurance with the 2, 3, and 4 batters due up. Facing right-hander Blake Stelzer. Stelzer, who relieves Stevie Ledesma. The first pitch to Andrew Penner is a called strike. 89-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-1. Stelzer pitched against the Otters last night as the 0-1, back-to-back with a fastball, gets the outside edge, 0-2. He went one scoreless inning, struck out a couple of batters. It was a perfect frame for him. The 0-2 fouled off to the right and out of play. Stelzer came on in that one for, I believe, the 7th inning. Yep. 0-2, Penner fights it off. Fouls it back. And we'll give you a quick rundown of Stelzer's overall numbers. This is his 7th game. He's thrown 9 in the 3rd. He's struck out 11, walked just 1, allowed only 2 hits. .96 earned run average. This is a fly ball out toward right field. Underneath it is Nolan Early. Reaches a glove up, makes the grab for the first out. It brings up J.R. Davis. He's 2 for 4 with a run driven in. He's also got a double to his credit.
Opportunity here for Evansville. You have power hitters. You have Davis, and if he's able to reach Crane and McNamee, an insurance run or two. I hate broadcasters, Ryan, who beg, but I'm begging for some insurance here in the 9th.
It'd be nice. First pitch to Davis, called strike. Outside part of the plate. 0-1, fouled off. Davis, you know, he entered one of the top 5 hitters in the league. Good for 4th overall. The 2 for 4 night will certainly help. Sure, he wouldn't mind going 3 for 5.
I wouldn't mind that.
No, sir. 1 out and an 0-2 count on Davis. Fastball misses high, 1-2. Stelzer, the 6'3" right-hander. 25 years old, out of Lakeville, Minnesota. Pitched in 2020 for Concordia University in St. Paul. Reaches out, grounds it to the shortstop, Coutinho. Throws on the run to first. 2 down. Top of the 9th.
So it's up to Riley Crane. The Otters are going to add any insurance runs. Taylor Wright, though, he should get a lot of praise for coming in and kind of settling down the situation out of the bullpen. The road trip, pretty good so far, a 3-2 record, but the bullpen has been at times an issue of weakness, and Taylor Wright settling down and getting the Otters back in a groove.
First pitch, ground ball, left side. Shortstop Gudinho on to first. Riley Crane grounds out, 6-3 to end the ninth. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Stelzer. The Miners are within range. It'll be Logan Sawyer on to pitch for the Otters to try to close it down in the bottom of the ninth. They lead 6-4. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Bottom of the ninth, the Otters 3 outs away from taking the rubber match here in Marion, Illinois against the Southern Illinois Miners. They turn to Logan Sawyer with a 2-run lead. He faces Ryan Stacy, John Cable, and Carson Bartels. Sawyer set, the first pitch, fastball at 94, misses upstairs, 1-0. Ryan Brown, Zane Clodfelter with you. The Otters trying to make it a winning road trip and improve to 21-8 on the young season. 1-0, and a fastball is line foul the other way. 1-1 on Stacy, who walked in his only other plate appearance tonight.
And important to take care of the bottom half of the order here, Ryan. I know this is not an original starter in the game, but still the 8th place hitter in the lineup. You don't want to turn it over with runners on base for that top couple of batters.
Sawyer shakes off Phillips, has the sign he wants, the 1-1. Foul tipped into Stacy's glove. He said, I want to come with the fastball. And he gets ahead of Stacy, 1-2.
And I'm glad he did come with the fastball. That was a beautiful pitch from Logan Sawyer.
Sawyer comes in with a 1-2 record. This is his 13th game through 10 1/3. He's picked up 6 saves, allowed 10 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned. The 1-2 fastball misses high. We'll go ahead and finish off reading that line. In those 10 1/3, he's struck out 10, walked 2, given up 1 home run. Enters with an earned run average of 436. Looking for save number 7 is Logan Sawyer facing Ryan Stacy. The 2-2. Slashes it to the left. Foul.
Stacy played at the University of Texas at San Antonio D1, but he was a force there. 7 homers and 14 doubles in his career. 48 games as a senior in 19.
The 2-2 again. Ground ball left side, Penner. He gloves it. The throw to first in time to get Stacy by a step. One down in the bottom of the ninth.
That's the Andrew Penner glove that we were bragging about pregame to everybody up here in our press box in Marion. Not our press box, it's their press box. I would take exception if they came to Bosse Field and called it their press box, so I can't call this.
And you are fair. You are fair. John Cable. He is 0 for 2. He walked his last time. One down in the bottom of the ninth inning. Otters lead by 2. First pitch from Sawyer in the AB is a called strike. They went off speed. They get ahead of Cable. Miners scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to make a ball game of it. It's the only inning they've scored in. Close enough to make it tight. The 0-1. Fastball at 95 from Sawyer. Misses high, 1-1. Otters scored 6. 1 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. 1-1. And that misses low. Off speed pitch from Sawyer. 2-1. They've got Lucky the Canary on the, it's not a bongo drum, is it? But over the Miners dugout behind first. The 2-1. And here's a shallow little flare out toward left center. Penner going back and reaching back. He can't make the play. It's a bloop hit for John Cable. That will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Carson Bartels, the leadoff batter.
John Cable earned that base hit because Andrew Penner, as you described, Ryan, did everything he could, running back to home plate, trying to catch it over the shoulder and just out of his grasp.
Runner at first. He's somewhat of a meaningless run. Carson Bartels, the man to worry about, keeping him off base. Not overly concerned that the leadoff batter would jump the yard, but an important out nonetheless. First pitch from Sawyer, and a line drive back up the middle. The Miners will have runners at first and second with 1 out, and now that tying run is aboard.
Well, Lucky the Canary, I don't know if it's a bongo drum or a snare drum. They're trying to replicate the Cleveland Indians feel at Progressive. And it's working so far with 2 runners reaching here, and suddenly this game a little interesting because now the tying run is on, Ryan, with only 1 out. And now you're having the 2-hole hitter as the potential game-winning run here.
That'll be Yeltsin Gudinho. Had a 2-run single his last at bat.
And we promise that the drum is a lot louder in person than it is on our broadcast.
Sawyer set at the belt. First pitch is taken out towards center, but Gordon has a read. A couple of steps to his left, he makes the catch for a big out, number 2. Gudinho flies out to center, and advancing on the play, Cable from second to third. It brings up Luke Mangieri. Mangieri 1 for 3. Walked in the first, singled in the fourth. He was the one who grounded out to first right before Andrew Oxford gave the hook to the Otters skipper. Runners at the corners, 2 out. First pitch from Sawyer, and it's hammered toward right and foul. Out of play.
And Mangieri, a familiar name for those who follow college baseball, playing at Bradley University in the Missouri Valley Conference. He played in Evansville as a collegiate player for the Braves against the Purple Aces. As a relative, Luke Mangieri, or Nick Mangieri, I should say, was an offensive lineman for Indiana University in football. So an athletic family, the Mangieris.
How about that?
That's what I'm here for.
I like it. We're going to have the Zane Clodfelter play report become a regular occurrence. 0-1 on Mangieri. Pitch from Sawyer. He swings over top of the 94-mile-per-hour fastball, 0-2. This would be a massive rubber match win for the Otters early in the season. What you might call a victory of the statement variety. Miners down to their final strike tonight. Mangieri will call time at the plate. He steps out. Now back in the left-handed batter's box. He taps home, swings the lumber forward, points out toward the corner in right. Couple of check swings. Now the bat over his left shoulder. The 0-2 from Sawyer. Fastball misses just off the plate. 1-2, 96. The Knoxville native raring back and letting that one fly. Sawyer set. The 1-2. He's underneath it. Back is Phillips to have a look. It gets out of play. Count will remain 1-2 strikes.
It always just stressed me out here. We see all the fans now waiting for the way the roof is slanted here. If it's a foul ball that lands on the roof, unlike at Bossy Field, there's a good chance it can land back on you because of gravity.
Otters looking for a little momentum ahead of their series at home against Florence starting Tuesday. They get it with a win here in the rubber match. 1-2 to the plate. Fouled back. Just able to get a piece of that 95-mile-per-hour fastball. He's on it pretty good. Swung underneath the four-seamer. Cable off third. Tying run Bartels off of first. The count is 1-2 with 2 out in the bottom of the ninth. Pitch from Sawyer. A line drive into center field. This will bring the Miners within 1. It's an RBI base hit for Luke Mangieri. It's now a 6-5 game in the bottom of the ninth.
And now the game-tying run, Ryan, in scoring position at second, and you have the game-winning run on the base paths at first. So, interesting situation. This is why Logan Sawyer is the closer. He is someone who Max Peterson and Andy McCauley, they entrust, because you have a former closer for Evansville and Taylor Wright in the bullpen, but Logan Sawyer has earned this opportunity. This is his chance to continue to do what he has done so far this season and be that lockdown guy in the ninth.
Gianfranco Wawu batting with the tying run in scoring position. First pitch fastball. Actually, probably a cut fastball or a slider there. From Sawyer, misses high, 1-0.
And if you're Sawyer, you got to get the pitches down, especially at this part of the lineup. If you're going to miss, I mentioned it earlier, miss low.
Wawu, the cleanup batter. Winning run on at first, tying run in scoring position with 2 out, the 1-0. And this is hit out toward left field. It looks like it's going to get out of play. It will. Josh Henderson had a long look.
And those kids chasing in the lawn are all going to have grass stains.
Oh, yeah. Might pick up a bug or two.
Are you getting loud? The scoreboard is telling us to get loud, Ryan.
I am on the edge of my seat. Bartels at second, Mangieri at first.
I haven't had a seat all game.
This is true. The 1-1 to Wawu. And I don't know where that one missed. The 1-1 possibly inside, maybe a touch low.
I'd love to know the same thing.
The 1-1, I mean, very possibly it did miss inside. We don't have the perfect angle there. I just genuinely didn't know where it missed. And a little inside move from Sawyer, no one covering the bag.
But if you're Logan Sawyer, don't worry about the runner at second. Wawu is the guy that you have to get here with the game on the line.
Bartels, the leadoff batter, the tying run in scoring position, the 2-1. He's behind the fastball, 2-2, and for the second time tonight, the Miners down to their final strike. Wawu 0 for 3. He's walked and scored a run. One home run this season through his first 20 at-bats entering play. The 2-2. And a little looper out towards short. This one went swimmingly. A 6-4 final. Evansville takes the rubber match. Here in Marion, Illinois, Logan Sawyer picks up his 7th win of the season, as the win, well-deserved, goes to Tim Holdgrafer. Again, 6-4 final, as the Otters pick up a much well-deserved and very refreshing 4th win of the road trip and rubber match here in Southern Illinois.
And after the Otters went on the road trip, Ryan, hot on a winning streak to go 4-2 over 6 on the road through Joliet and Marion in Southern Illinois. Job well done.
Again, it's Tim Holdgrafer who takes home his 3rd win of the season. Logan Sawyer picks up his 7th save, and the loss goes to Trent Johnson, who now falls to 0-3 on the season. The Otters improve their record, 21-8. They will move up a game on the Florence Yalls going into the weekday series, Tuesday to Thursday when they return home, and the Miners fall to 14-15. Zane Clodfelter, Ryan Brown on the call with you. We're going to step aside for a moment, and when we return, the Evansville Otters post-game show on the Otters Digital Network on YouTube Live.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Welcome back to Marion, Illinois at Rent One Park for the Evansville Otters post-game show, and welcome back to the series recap. My name is Ryan Brown. I'm joined by Zane Clodfelter here on the road as the Otters, a little bit of road cooking. They take their 4th victory of this 6-game set, and they win their 2nd series and their 2nd rubber match. They won in the rubber match in Joliet Thursday night, and they win this rubber match here in Southern Illinois. And Zane, with your time that you've spent around this club, you know the rivalry between these two teams, these historic Frontier League franchises. What do you think it means for the Otters to be able to come away from Marion with another series victory?
It means a lot because this is a division foe, Ryan. This is a team that obviously now chasing the Evansville Otters with the result here on Sunday. Now 7 games back in the standings with Evansville improving to 21-8. Now the Miners under 500 at 14-15. Every game is important. We saw that throughout the weekend and on the road trip. Teams from both sides are going to fight and claw, but Tim Holdgrafer, he was a stud for the Otters on the mound to close this series on Sunday in Marion.
And to your point about being able to come in here at Marion and a great performance from Tim Holdgrafer, how about other young guys making, some in cases, their professional debuts? Like last night, it was Ryan O'Reilly, though the Otters couldn't pick up a win It was a great performance from him. He didn't allow an earned run through his first 4 innings. And on Thursday night, Braden Scott would carry the train. Polo Portela started and got the win on Friday night. Tonight, Tim Holdgraper, another rookie, continues a train of pretty good Otters starting pitchers where when we were back at home at Bosse Field, that was kind of a question mark at that point in the season.
No, I was worried. Dalton Stambaugh gets signed by the Chicago Cubs organization, and you're like, man, is the water about to overpass the levee with the starting rotation? But no, Gossman, O'Reilly, all these guys have come in, and a testament to Max Peterson and Andy McCauley finding this talent, having them waiting in the wings, and it's nice where really, not to be insulting to Dalton Stambaugh, we've kind of forgotten about him with the dominant pitching that Evansville has seen here on this road trip.
Another point to make mention of is that Southern Illinois came into this series on a hot streak. They had won 5 in a row, and you might call it a statement win tonight. A closer kind of statement victory, at least for the Otters, how they've been styling themselves. A Friday night win by a 14-4 score. Zane, I don't know how closely you got to follow that one, but a grand slam from J.R. Davis, 4 RBIs from Elijah McNamee. It's nice to see the offense continuing to play well as we're really now approaching the first full month of the season.
Right, and as we talked about during the broadcast on Sunday in Marion, how so many of these Otters players offensively still batting over 300, and that doesn't include Riley Crane, who's batting in the upper 200s, but already has a Frontier League of the Week award presented to him after the opening couple of games of the year. So the depth offensively for this team, I think, is one of the biggest strengths. But now you can argue, what about the pitching depth? Because prior to the road trip, I thought, okay, the Otters are leaning heavily on the hitting. The pitching kind of carried them throughout this road trip.
Now they get to carry some momentum going into a 3-game weekday series against the Florence Yawls. Some exciting promotions that Zane will get to talk to you about as well. And how about that momentum carrying forward to the team that's been on your heels this whole time while the Otters had gone on an 8-game road trip, a winning streak that was snapped during the road trip? How about talking about the momentum going to play the second place in the West Division Florence Yawls?
I mean, it's a good thing for Evansville, the fact that it seems like the Otters keep winning and winning, and they haven't been able to create that separation in the West Division of the Frontier League, where with Florence losing earlier today, the Otters now come back to Evansville with a 3-game lead in the division, which still awfully early. We haven't even hit the month of July yet, but you want to have as much cushion as you possibly can going into it. And those are going to be 3 big games going into the 4th of July. I know with the Otters going on the road next weekend, 3 crucial games back at home, though, that fans need to be here at the ballpark for.
Tuesday night will be a Taco Tuesday. That first pitch, 6:05?
6:35.
6:35. You can get there at 6:05. Enjoy another half hour of $2.50 Modelo and Corona.
Right, with tacos at the ballpark, and Rally Taco could be there as well.
Rally Taco might be there. Then Wednesday, it's a Senior Connection Wednesday, also at 6:35.
Correct.
Where seniors 55 and older can get in for what price, general admission tickets?
$2.
$2 general admission tickets for seniors 55 and older. Then Thursday, how about a Thirsty Thursday to conclude that series? Otters might be looking for a sweep or a rubber match, and that would be a really nice way to cap things off on that Thursday Thursday at 6:35.
And it's big. It's the Jacobs Village benefit game, which in the past has been an exhibition game. They moved it to the regular year. Sign-A-Rama's going to be in the house as well with the flag sticker giveaway, which is perfect for the 4th of July holiday coming up. And then my understanding, post-game fireworks. Post-game fireworks.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we're bringing it all. We're bringing the whole house on Thursday.
So make sure you're there Tuesday through Thursday, all 6:35 first pitches. You can get there an hour before the game and make sure you hit those concession stands once or twice. You're going to want to with some of the great deals they got going on at the ballpark this week. As the Evansville Otters once again are victorious in Marion in the rubber match of their 3-game series with the Miners. They take 4 of 6 games on the road. Zane, any concluding thoughts we want to make sure we hit before we sign off?
No, really impressive road trip. The Otters faced some adversity. They faced it Wednesday night in Joliet. They faced it again somewhat on Sunday with the bullpen situation. Taylor Wright coming in the clutch, though, getting the guys that he needed to get, really stemmed the tide and kept Evansville on top.
Well, we'll be back at it Tuesday night on Frontier League Live TV. 6:35 first pitch, 6:20 pregame show. We'll be back with Mr. Bill McCune, as we always wonder on the road, where's Beal? But he will be back in the ballpark at Bosse Field. If you can't catch us at the Yard, make sure you tune in Frontier League Live TV, where we'll have more 2021 Frontier League and Evansville Otters regular season baseball. For Zane Clodfelter, I'm Ryan Brown. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will chat on Tuesday.